What is up, guys? It is April 10th, 2026. Put the hundreds in the chat if you can hear me. I just woke up to my penthouse view that would leak everything if I just dropped it, but I had my espresso. I'm feeling good. And by feeling good, I mean before you shower, before you do anything, you get your mind right. You get up. You get your espressos in you and you start getting on the Twitter, the news world, and you start looking around and you're like, wait a minute, what the fuck is happening with the world? Right? Let's see some smiley faces if you guys can hear me. You might, because I might press the button by accident. You never know. All right. Flat space. Give me a fucking smiley if you can hear me. Let's go, Vegeta. No, a smiley, you fucking cunt. The fuck is that? A smiley face, you stupid fucking monkeys, dude. And yo, before anyone complains, I always get this same complaint of, why don't you give me content? Why are you doing a space? And it's like, bro, Twitter's the app that I use. This is the only way I can do this shit. I don't use the other apps. Right? And yeah, I just find it strange how people think this is like a joke. They think that because what do I have? I've done Argentina, I've done Brazil, it's like 2 months. I've done this, however long it's been, Colombia. I have Tokyo next, and a lot of you guys are like, dude, you're supposed to be filming all this. No, I'll be returning to these places to film it eventually when it's my turn. Because a lot of you guys don't realize that. Like when I tell you guys I'm on a 9-year traveling period, so I'll be traveling for the next 9 years with some breaks in between. And yeah, there's no way I'm gonna miss all that. So, a lot of people are like, oh, it's been months, you haven't filmed. And it's like, dude, we have 9 years left of traveling, right? Right? I just turned 32. We have, excuse me, 8 years left of traveling. And yeah, I'm sure I'll get some footage of that stuff, but yeah, you got to remember, it's like it's been years of me telling you guys that I'm preaching one thing. I'm not even preaching religion or any of the stuff that I'm accused of. I'm preaching you guys to live your life. Okay, that's why when Kai Sena took a break, I said that's good. Him being a streamer, what did that get him besides some girl fucking cheating on him or some shit? Like make your money, let it on roll, right? Let your money just flow into your life for the next 8 years and live your goddamn life. Like a lot of you guys don't realize, I have many students who have high paying, we'll call it careers, but they are seen as bitter faced compared to the guys who make money and travel the world. Yeah, if you're making money and traveling the world, or you're making 20% extra and you're not allowed to travel, you have to stay in your little office. It's like, well, how is that a rich nigga's life? What are you talking? That's not rich nigga life. You're trapped in an office, right? You're like someone's bitch. What about the grind phase I don't believe in a grind phase like other people do in 2026. Like, for example, can you grind in a different country? Yeah, you can. It's 2026, bro. You can do everything from your phone. You can do everything you're trying to do from your phone. Right? This idea that, I gotta be my city and my office, like you're an idiot, dude. We're not talking about rich. Some of you guys are convinced um you're supposed to be spending your 20s and your early 30s grinding your face off just to prepare you to live with a woman. Because remember, the red pill, all they talk about is you're going to have so much fucking money so she doesn't leave your ass. And it's like, dude, if you're preparing to live that life, She's going to leave your ass, you fucking loser. What red pill guy do you know that hasn't been fucking snaked by the... If you're preparing to be with a woman that it's, I'm just gonna have as much money as possible saved up. I'm gonna piss away 20 years of my life just saving money in my little office, and that way she won't leave me. And it's like, yeah, but look at the content online. Like they still meet a Zherka at a bar, some dragon fruit energy, and they suck me off. That, that doesn't stop them. What are you talking about? You guys who are you guys who are convinced that, oh, if I just keep grinding, if I just keep, dude, you're hardening your inward world, and that's what she picks up on. Like, if you've ever wondered why some of you guys do drugs, right? Anyone here remember a time where you started doing drugs and you meet a girl who she doesn't do drugs, but she's batshit insane, and you met her when you were doing drugs? Why did that happen? Why did that resonance happen? Is because your inner world got really chaotic from the drugs, and it matched her, even though she's sober. She's just, let's say, a bipolar batshit bitch, right? And you meet her and you're like, wow, bro, we're hitting it off. And it's like, dude, your inner world is chaotic because you're doing drugs. It's matching to her resonance. You might think, oh, no, I was just being confident. I was just being suave and cool. So I went up there and talked to her at the bar. It's like, no, you magnetized her to your sympathetic energy frequency. You couldn't, when you were sober, you would have never even matched or been around the same room as her. You wouldn't have smiled at her. Why? You didn't match that inner world. Like, a lot of people are like, opposites attract. Zherka always fucks his opposite. Really? Then why is Zerka's inner world identical to the girls? Stop looking at humans the way all these Jordan Peterson, they don't tell you. When you look at a human, you're supposed to see, okay, there's Zherka, he's a Chad, he lives his life on his terms, this guy is fucking awesome. But you're not seeing Zherka. There's an inner world to Zherka that's constantly changing and evolving. And you have this too. And a lot of you don't realize that if you just meet people on face value, you don't know what the fuck is happening in your incarnation ever. You will never know. But if I tell you, hey man, remember that time you were doing drugs and you met a bipolar bitch? She didn't do drugs, but she was on the same chaotic energy as you. You guys had the same inner world. You guys fit. You guys were identical. You guys started dating. And a lot of people are like, holy shit, that's actually so true. Like, externally, she was just a girl, but internally, she had so much going on. She was almost like this fucking coke fiend, even though she didn't do drugs. And it's like, yeah, when you start seeing humans as, okay, this is his shell, right? This is, shut the fuck up. This is his shell, and this is inside inner world, right? Or maybe a more slow inner world, like Fresh from Fresh Fit. You don't see too much chaotic energy with Fresh. You see a more slow inner world, more sober, or maybe even weed, right? Just think of like the human atmosphere as clouds and lightning. You snort a line, there's lightning everywhere in your inner world. You start doing crazy shit. You have to start seeing the clouds in people, like really focus when you look at them. And over 7 years, you will start seeing, literally visually seeing clouds around them. And you'll be like, huh, this guy looks disturbed. And you'll look around in the bar and you'll be like, no one else can tell that this person's disturbed. Oh, this guy would stab someone. This guy's really disturbed. And you pick up on micro expressions in the beginning, but eventually you'll see electrical surges and ticks around the body, just the way the body twitches and moves. And you'll start seeing clouds around a person. And at first it'll spook you out. You'll be like, huh, what the fuck? At first, it'll be all facial and just like the ticks in the body and stuff. You'll pick up on this stuff. And a lot of you guys think, oh, everyone's picking up on this stuff. It's like, no, people don't pay attention to other people in bars. They look at the outer shell and that's it. And this is how you get stabbed up, by the way. If you can't see someone's inner world, you don't know if he's going to pull a blade on you. You're that fucking idiot running your mouth until he pulls the blade. I've worked so many years in these nightclubs and I'm like, humans who don't pierce other humans and look into them, how the fuck are you ever going to have strong business partners? You know, or maybe you're more immature and just want to work with your friends, which I've always done that too. So much fun. I don't regret that at all. But eventually you will fucking get boned for that too. But you look into your friends and you're like, oh wow, I don't look into my friend's inner world. Like, what's going on with this person? You have to start doing this with everyone you meet, especially women, right? Especially women. Like a lot of people, they're so puzzled by how I can enjoy dating life. And I always seem to just slip by. Anytime it gets a little too crazy, I just, hey, I have to leave now. I just disappear, right? And that is like the key to enjoying dating life in 2026. I feel like everyone their recipe is I'm gonna stick around this girl until I get burned or until she jumps me or until and it's like, what the fuck? You're not more intuitive with this? You're like you are never going to enjoy a strong dating life in 2026. And why I promote dating life is because some of you guys sprinting to marriage are gonna get burned bad, so I'll never promote that, right? Now, if you're like much older, we can talk, right? We could talk about more long-term projects and stuff like that you have with a woman, but you know, it's 2026 and that's just what it is. And a lot of you guys are going to get burnt because you don't want to pierce into someone's soul. You don't want to look into them. And it's like, there's nothing evil about that. Actually, it's evil to wait for her to stab you with a blade. That's you're doing evil to yourself right there. And there's no psychologist ever talking about this. There's literally no one on earth that ever brings up these are not topics. This is like you're sitting at a bar right in front of her, and you're like, "Well, what does that Zherka guy say? That guy helps me out." And all right, oh, forget her, blonde streaks and her lipstick, and let me pierce into her inner world, see what she's got going on. And you notice her shoulders are tight and there's a surging of energy. It's like bendy. It's like those mirages. You start seeing like this mirage of energy, just kind of like waves in the air, and you're like, "Whoa, there's tension there," but you can only see it if you're calm. And if let's say you have the jitters or you're nervous in front of the bitch, you don't see anything, and it's opaque. You're like, "What the fuck?" And then you'll have moments where you calm down, go for a walk with the bitch and stuff, and then you immediately start looking in her inner world, and you can almost see her as you almost see her as a kid at the playground. Not to make you creepy, but you see what she's really into. Most humans are like, a lot of people don't realize most humans are their child. Your childhood self didn't go anywhere. You're just doing it in an adult version, right? And it's deep enough to see in a construction worker working with a bulldozer. Like, that's a kid playing with toys. Like, it's everywhere. Anyways, why I start this is because I didn't want to make a whole tweet. I've been writing a lot, but I didn't want to make a whole tweet about it. It's like, we got to look into dark psychology. We have to look into like, hey man, okay, Jordan Peterson's never going to talk about it. No one in the world is going to talk about it, but thinking is what your connection to the spirit realm is. Through thinking, you will solve your problems. No other facet, you know? Oh, I like hearing your speeches. You charge me up. And it's like, bro, you're going off feeling. You're turning into a dream, and then your will is asleep. You don't know what the fuck you're feeling, so you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Increase clarity, look into people, right? Don't just look at them. This is something you should be developing and training so dating is not boring for you. So you should in your head say, well, if Circa did this for over 10 years, you know, I'm going to try it for at least a year. And oh, wow, this is actually good. You talk to your mother and you're like, oh, I'm looking into my mom's inner world. She's nervous about some things. I have to calm her down a bit. That's what being human is, man. Like when Jesus Christ points to the heart, he's not saying, the divine isn't saying you have a heart, therefore go be a good person. No, it's that you have to train it. You have to train having a heart. You have to literally train, like you're doing push ups, to be human. You have to strengthen being human. You're not human, you're strengthening it. And obviously, this level of perception can be used for evil as well. But I think I think I hammer you guys so much with the word karma that, you'll know better than that, because nobody wants to go in endless loops of lesson learning, right? I mean, if you're going through that, uh, yeah, I get a lot of messages from people saying, well, I don't believe in karma. And it's like, okay, but then don't come back to me in 8 months when you say, actually, now I believe in it. So I don't give a fuck what you believe in. By the way, if you don't believe in karma, for the sake of, let's say you don't believe in karma as a punishment. That's true. It's not punishment. It's never actually punishment, right? So that instinct you have that, oh, I'm not being punished, that's actually strong. Most people have this instinct, oh, I'm being punished. That's not karma. That's just you being a fucking idiot. Okay. You're supposed to deepen your awareness in the world. And a lot of people are like, okay, I got that. Now what? It's like, no, no, dude, I'm telling you something that has to strengthen over 72 years of your life. So you don't got what I'm saying, you fucking idiot. That's why we repeat it on Twitter. That's why we hammer it in your skull. You don't actually understand what I'm saying. Stop pretending you do, because your life fucking sucks. Okay? Your life sucks. You get all these fucking messages. Oh, 10 years I've saved up $750,000 circa in my little office. I got no pussy for 10 years. It's like, you, by your own inner world, you don't define success like that. Because you listen to the tone of your voice. You spent 7 years in a fucking concrete office. Okay? And it's like, it's 2026. I'm pretty sure you could have done that by the beach. Okay, this idea that I'm going to be successful on paper, so my bitch don't leave me. It's like your bitch already left you when you were successful. You stupid idiot. The fuck are you talking about? When I'm pushing humans to be more whole, more well-rounded, you are not going to run up and hug me and tell you experience the fruits of being more well-rounded. When you're like, whoa, these bitches are chasing me. Yeah, because you're more well-rounded. I kind of like, I really want to hammer in the point that it's like this idea that your life is going to be turning on when you're successful, right? Which is weird because all of my content is, you see my before life and afterlife. Yeah, I'm having a shit ton of fun. But why are we pretending like Zherka wasn't having fun when he was broke too? Like, what the fuck? I wasn't wasting time, you know? Fun is the butter of the universe. You're supposed to be having fun, even with your struggles. And I open up my Twitter every day. I'm like, let's look at the news. Let's look at how people live their lives. And they're so pathetic, man. They're so pathetic. And people love saying, yeah, bro, it's been years. It's been years and you're still not going fucking live for us. And it's like, you should be broke by now. It's like, nigga, I'm fucking rich doing what I want because that's how the universe works. When in your life has courage not been rewarded? When in your life has courage not? When have you taken a leap of faith for a long period of time and it didn't pay off? It's almost impossible. The only times it's not rewarded is when you don't feel courageous doing it. There's people who take a leap of faith, but they hold back. They hold back like a little bitch. No, to get that fucking hand tattoo. I remember getting the hand tattoo. I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna work in an office. And people are like, dude, that's fucking retarded. You'll never get a job in this fucking. It's like, I don't give a fuck about that, man. I'll go work in a nightclub and it'll work out for me. It worked out with $10 an hour in a fucking nightclub. And people are like, you can't. I think what most people think is you can't have this subjective experience where it's like, oh, it happened for you. It's not going to happen for me. It's like, there is nothing, there is nothing in this world that I'm more confident in than courage paying off. There is no, people don't understand what I mean by courage. Your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your grandmother, everyone you love doesn't matter. They don't matter at all. None of your family or your friends, no human in your life matters. The only thing that matters in this matrix is courage. None of your family and friends fucking matter, you stupid idiot. It's always been about courage. All the stardust, everything in the universe is about courage. You know how I know that you're a fucking idiot? Because if your family mattered more than courage, what happens when they get infiltrated and attacked by big black men with machetes? Oh, now all of a sudden you're frozen and you don't have courage and you let your family get robbed and killed. Oh, so why did you let all that evil happen to your family? Well, I don't know. I just froze. Are you admitting that courage is higher up in importance than your own family? Well, no, I would never say that, but I froze. I froze like a bitch. You don't have family, you don't have friends, you don't have nothing without courage. It can all be taken from you. And here's the crazy part is you're going to need courage if you lose someone. Don't forget that part. So when you ask me, well, what the fuck am I doing on earth? What the fuck do you think you're doing on earth? You're developing courage through friction, through fire. And so you leaving that fucking piece of shit job and traveling the world and fucking making it work from your phone, from your laptop, that's courage too. You're telling me I'm misleading you for telling you courage will eventually pay off. And by payoff, I mean, it's like oxygen. You need it to breathe, right? You don't want to go frozen in the shadows, unconscious like everyone else. No, you want to be in the friction of it. There's a bunch of people ask me, well, I'm suffering. I'm suffering. I'm like, what makes you think you don't want your own suffering? You know, like this is so stupid to me. It's like you went your whole life thinking, I'm suffering and I don't want it. I want it to stop. And it's like, how do you know you want that? When have you ever known what you actually want? You fucking fool. You know, some of you guys are convinced, oh, I just want the suffering to stop. It's like, okay, hold on. In the past, it would all be about protecting your tribe with a sword. And now you have a comfortable life. You don't have to do shit. So why are you still at war? Why did the war go from the external? Now it's an inner battle. How the fuck do you have these people depressed in cities if they're not even going to war with swords? Like, you don't even have to go to war anymore. It's modern times. And you know what's funny is if you teleport these people in the past, they'll be like, I don't want to go to war with a sword. I want to go back to modern times. Really? Because when we were in modern times, you said you couldn't handle it. You said you couldn't handle modern. You said you have depression in modern times and you can't handle this existential dread and blah, blah, blah. So now if I teleport you, you have the same fucking problem except in a different arena? So what are you effectively telling me? I can teleport you to any time in history and you're still gonna have a problem that paralyzes you? It's just gonna be in a different form? So what's that telling you about your own soul? That's telling it's like you're frozen in fear and to chase your dreams in modern times, but you take your ass to ancient times, you're frozen because you don't want to battle. Which one do you want? Okay, which I'll tell you which one you want. The one you fucking incarnated into, you idiot. Now it is a longer battle, like in ancient times, the anxiety eventually you spark rocks with that. And now it's a lot longer of an anxiety. It's like a 72-year period of existential dread. You get married, you regret it. You get divorced, you regret it. You don't get married, you regret it. You go on a date, you regret it. You don't go on a date, you regret it. You get that job, you regret it. You don't get that job, you regret it. What the fuck is it with your soul? You know, like, in my bad, I'm a little sick, so this is coming out uh, in all sorts of ways, but it has to come out because I cannot just wake up with beautiful women without flexing on you guys. I have to remind you, you're a fucking loser. You don't make money like I make. I'm looking at the money I make as she's sucking my dick, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, tomorrow I'll be doing 12 hours of philosophy because you know what? I have to balance all of this fun with work, like strenuous mental activity, you know, because I'm all for relaxing too, turning the brain off a bit, or you know, entering play states, but I'll always balance that out, right? It's like fasting before eating a big meal. It always tastes better, right? That is the key to life. The key to life is if you're getting absorbed by fun, go balance out that fun just so you have more energy. So you have more energy to develop your powers on earth, and stop seeing your soul as something like a figment of your imagination. You can look into a hardened soul, look in someone's face. You can see a lot of people have hardened, and they're not going to change until, not even until they die, man. Yeah, after their death. And a lot of you guys follow people who are inwardly hardened, but externally they look fine. It's like, no, dude, look into your own inner world and see what's happening to you. You know, look into your own inner world and understand the pictures that rise in the clouds, right? In your dream clouds. What are the pictures that are making you move, right? Like for me, it's always been pictures of a more mature, a deeper Zherka, right? Because I've maxed out the funny, you know, I can always go back to that. But I need to be heavily trusted in society for what I'm trying to do in the future. And that requires serious, strenuous mental activity. But it's not mental activity for the, like a lot of people think, oh, these souls on earth are just working for the sake of work, just to prove that, you know, God just wants you to be a slave. And it's like, no, dude, 72 years of work and strenuous mental activity makes an impression on your subtle energy body, your soul. That impression, you want to move up into higher worlds. You don't want to be soft inwardly when it's time to move up, because things are going to get even harder for you. And it's like a lot of people are, well, why do we have to constantly move up? And it's like you might think you're constantly moving up and you're working, but you're not. You're having years and years and years of fun as well. There's a lot of frozen time you're not realizing. Like there's a lot. Really, if you're playing the game perfectly, you'd be moving an inch forward every single day of your life. That's tremendous progress. The prophets made that kind of progress. The bodhisattvas made that kind of progress, and that's an inch. So for you, it'd be like an inch every 7 years. A spiritual inch would be considered huge, though. And that's not cool at all. I don't think that's awesome at all. You know, I think I want humans to be moving at the speed of a prophet, but just accumulating mistakes, right? Unlike the prophets who are running a perfect initiation. I don't want that for you. I don't want humans without mistakes, right? Because they can build serious shadows that their whole incarnations. So I want you to go, like, it's kind of like when people are like, well, why do you use this picture of you with a black eye on Twitter? And it's like, you don't understand that it's not just to laugh at me or to make fun of Zherka. It's a posture of living on earth that when I'm on Twitter, it reminds me, oh, wait, hold on. Someone's at the door. room service with the fettuccine. I wish these people spoke English. Yeah. Anyways, as I was saying, my profile picture is it's to remind me that that's the posture I need in not just the news world, not just the Twitter world, but for my own incarnation. That's how it's gonna go. You know, a lot of you guys have this mental image of like, hey, I have this picture on my desktop of me in a suit and tie and successful and all that, and it's like, sure, you can have that. Or you can have one with battle scars that reminds you, oh shit, the finish line is going to look really fucked up. Bruises and cuts and all of that. And there's a, if you're a man, there's a beauty to that. If you're a woman, it's a lot different, right? A woman won't be inspired as much by this because their spiritual framework is a lot different. And you have that in you too, like scaffolding, right? You're etheric. And I'm telling you right now that it's like, yeah, your posture in the world is going to be the most exhausted version of yourself, tired, bruised, cut. That should be your image to how you approach the world. That it's like, oh, damn, everything I've been told by mainstream media is a lie. There's no happy ending. There's no wife and kids and smiles and all that. Because, like, let's be real. If you have a good marriage, you're guaranteed a good divorce because you're starting in 2026. I'm not saying that to be a doomer. I'm saying, like, hey, just mention it in front of your parents. Be like, Mom, Dad, I'll have a good marriage in this incarnation, but I think I'm going to have a strong divorce too. And your parents will look at you like, yeah, we can't really see 60 years of a good marriage between the millennials or a Zoomer or whatever the fuck. It just gets worse and worse depending on how young that soul is. And you talk to someone you love and they go, "Oh shit," that's a really mature stance, right? That you're going to accept both the shadow and the light. And it's like, you can make fun of your own profile picture of like getting punched in the fucking eye, or you can look at it as, oh, that's just physical, and yeah, I guess, the body is the soul and the spirit. So you can say it's all the same, but that's just physical. There's deep black eyes and cuts and scrapes and scars that are spiritual you're going to go through too in your incarnation. And it's like, that is a forward posture. Okay. That, yes, when you think of like happy endings, you're not motivated. No shit, man. It's like ever since I was a boy, I would think of me in an exhausted adult state. Ever since I was a teenager, I'd think of what I look like as an adult exhausted because I knew that's progression, right? You're not going to go into higher worlds without that kind of friction. You will be exhausted. You're supposed to have you ever looked in the mirror? Have you ever looked I still remember the most beautiful I've ever looked is I was initiated with a tribe. And when I finally got back to the village, way out of the jungle, and I went through everything I went through, and this is very different than some of you guys who have emailed me you guys have done clinics. So I don't know anything about psychedelic clinics. I know it's better than how do people do their psychedelics? They do it with their boys, which is really stupid. Like, imagine not going inward in the trip. Imagine looking outward and seeing shit and having fun. I've never done that in my life. I don't. Maybe I have with certain things by accident, but it wasn't like for that mission. Um, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I've never done that, and I feel like I have missed out. Like, how fun is that? You and your boys just running around on psychedelics, looking at what are you guys seeing? Like dragons and shit in the sky. I've never in my life done that. I've never taken like some kind of plant medicine mix and gone outward in the world, which sounds like a lot of fun if you don't have any problems in you. But it's also like you get nothing done really, because the medicine is made for you to go inward, which is a seriously terrifying process. And I don't know about clinics because I don't know what the fuck clinics even give people, right? But I know that the clinics encourage what you close your eyes and do all that. But anyways, I'm not encouraging any of this stuff, right? I still think people can do 100% regular incarnation through hard work and all that. I'm talking about the more The more curious, the people who are like, oh, this might make me want to kill myself. Let's try it. Those people don't fucking do it, man. Right? But I still remember getting back to the village and I haven't seen anything modern, no modern technology, nothing, right? And I'm like, "Man, those people are fucking insane that they go to 12, they do that shit for 12 hours. And that's fucking the most intense experience of my life. And I'm all fucking exhausted, sweaty, little tan. Bro, this is years ago and I'm fucking shook. You know, like people think like, yeah, there's different levels of scared. You know, if you've ever been spiritually scared, it's a whole nother. Your whole inner world and your external is both fucking that kind of fear where it's like, and it's not unconscious either. It's not the kind of fear where it's like I don't know why I'm afraid. It's a you know why. You know why. There's nowhere to run. And I remember walking back to the village and seeing just like fucking, you know, you see like little tractors and, you know, oh, there's modern technology. I'm like entering the right part of the thing. Take this, get in the car, start going more into the modern world, and you start comparing the jungle to, you know, it's fusing out, or excuse me, it's fused with the village. And then you're going more into the modern world. And I finally went in front of this fucking dusty ass mirror, right? It wasn't dusty. It's just fucking third world place, right? And I look in the mirror and I see my most exhausted self, you know, pupils fully dilated, haven't ate in days, completely empty, bone thin, ugly thin, but the exhaustion and the everything out of me, that kind of like fearful state where it's like you're sweating out all the evil. I look in the mirror and I'm like, dude, that guy's beautiful. You know, that guy is fucking awesome. That is the real me. That is my true self. And I remember making a mental note of it. Years later, I started writing about it in my book. And I write in my notebook, I'm like, why is that exhausted version of myself always the guy who picks up the slack? Like the guy that I love the most. And it's like, dude, in the modern world, society doesn't allow you to get that exhausted. It's a very comfortable modern world in a prison-like way, right? So if you've ever wondered, it's like, man, oh, I want more comfort. I want. It's like, no, you don't. You want more exhaustion and cracks. You want more damage, right? And if you're not getting it, let's say you're becoming famous, making a shit ton of money and fucking OnlyFans models, you will find a way to crack yourself because that is not an exhausted version of yourself. That is not the person evolving, right? A lot of people are like, well, why does it take so much friction? And it's like, well, think of the layers of heaven. You like your little miserable heaven right now, but you want to go higher. Well, that, you know, that requires jumping, you know, and there's clouds and there's lightning and it's going to shock you. It's like that. It's like you're not worthy of going higher. You can still go if you're not worthy, but there's, you know, you're going to get taxed. You can't just bring your evil up to each higher layer. Right? That's not how it works. You have to get that evil burnt off you, whether it's a punch to your face or electricity or heartbreak, whatever it is. All of it, you guys don't realize that these traumas that exhaust us, like, you know, you break up with a girl and you feel exhausted all the time. That's a type, right? It's this evil is being pulled out of you, right? Little by little. It takes years for some people, and for the courageous, man, you can do that shit in 7 days. You can go through heartbreak in 7 days if you look in the mirror and you actually say, you know, you accept all of your evil. And when you accept all of your evil, it finally calms down. It's like, whoa, there's no resistance. You know, I am that. That is me. Right? You hear a deep inner voice and you say, that is you. Right? That's why a lot of people are like, well, I don't get how you proudly say you fuck sluts. And it's like, dude, you're supposed to look into the mirror and say, that's who I am. Do not do hiding in your room, hiding in the club trying to fuck a girl, but you have like a clean little Instagram image. That will rape you so. Stop thinking you can't go through suffering that's doesn't even level you up. Yeah, you can. There's plenty of people who go through passive suffering, you fucking idiot. So that's why a lot of you guys don't realize it's like, oh shit, Zerka's kind of a genius. You know, it's like, do you think I want my mom or family or friends seeing me partying with sluts? Nobody actually wants that. It's like your family will worry about you. They'll be like, hey, why don't you live a more normal life? And well, there are some kids, I guess, who want to show off to their parents, like I get all the bitches. But if your parents know you get a bunch of women, you don't like that feeling anymore. Trust me. It's like maybe when you're 21, you're like, oh, look, my parents think I'm having a great life with bitches. And it's like, no, no. If you're actually getting bitches, you don't want your parents knowing. That's kind of like embarrassing too, because it's like, it's a part of growing up, right? It's like, that's how your brother, your mom, your family, that's how people always worry about you. Because bitches implies that there's always new ones, and new ones means trouble, right? Because they're new, they don't know you, shit like that. So you don't want people worrying about you and stuff like that. But you have to look in the mirror, and if you're a greedy person, you have to say, I am greedy. You have to fully face that so it can transform. So you're no longer greedy. So it can peel off you like a snake skin. And that's the most terrifying part for, people. That's why from 8 billion people on earth, I think me and 10 other accounts online look that ratchet. Everyone else tries, they force it, and it doesn't look that ratchet. But maybe me and 5 other accounts. I don't know. This is like, I think it's just me and rappers. I don't think anyone else talks the way I talk. Not even rappers. They're like sweet to the girls. They're sweet until the drugs take over and shit. But yeah, I think it's like me and like maybe one other. I don't know who else does it like me, where it's like "shut up, bitch" and all that. And it's like, bro, this broadcasted evil is so it pushes out of me. That's why in the last couple of years I've become a lot sweeter. You could say, oh, it's because the human being calms down when they figure out what they're doing in the world, and it's like, yeah, there's that. I believe that too, right? Like I don't feel blessed. I don't like that word blessed. I use it a lot. Like I do feel blessed compared to the average guy. But then, you look at what a human has to go through in the world to be blessed, and you're like, oh, that's kind of really fair. Like what's the difference from a Zerka and his followers is Zerka took a lot of risk and the followers all held back 50%. So the followers will spend 10 years broke with no women, and Zerka will spend 10 years partying with a bunch of money and women. And it's like, whoa, that's a huge difference. But what the fuck? Like the followers did 50% of the work. And it's like, yeah, but there's no courage if you're holding back. And that's not to encourage you guys to go all the way with your courage, because some of you guys can't get fucked over. It's like, if you're not ready, you're not ready. I wouldn't want a 20-year-old going hard. Right? They'd have to be at higher levels of maturity to go hard, stuff like that. But yeah, it's like there's no Jordan Peterson, there's no human on earth talking about how psychology actually works. That all of there's no such thing as good advice, right? Anytime you've ever heard good advice, it's someone triggering you to awaken to the fact that you're repressed. Like you've never actually gotten good advice from another human unless it's something that wakes you up, shakes you, and goes, hey, you're repressed. And when you realize, like, what, there are no problems on earth. You don't actually have problems. You have repression. You don't actually have problems. Problems come later. You have a repression. Like, for example, everyone who follows me, they'll all DM and email me, I don't fuck sluts. And then within a few months, they say, dude, I fucked a girl at a bar, Zerka, and I kind of like her, but she's a hoe. I don't want to get tangled with this. And sometimes I'll respond, I'm like, but you don't like sluts. So why did you fuck her at the bar? And, it's their mask is slipping. They get embarrassed. They do that little gay little giggle and laugh. It's like when you ask them, do you watch porn since you don't fuck sluts? And it's like, yeah, I watch porn all day. And it's like, ooh, that's ugly as fuck. Like you've been saying for years you don't like sluts. Why are you watching porn? Well, that's different. I'm just getting a nut off. It's like, well, you're spending your whole day watching porn. So how's that? What are you talking about? You're not even having a human experience. You know, a human experience is more important than anything else you do on earth, right? You're not trying to leave the dream world. You're trying to enter it, right? You're trying to strengthen it. And so it's like looking at Jordan Peterson or anyone in psychology, it's like, dude, the most popular, the most based psychologist of all time, he didn't talk about anything except repression. A lot of you guys don't realize there's like, if you're gonna go through your whole life saying you're a good little Christian boy who doesn't fuck sluts, and then you email me, hey, I fucked a slut. Well, how should I talk to her, Zherka? And you get lucky, you're one of those guys I respond to. You look so pathetic in front of your own soul. And bro, when you look pathetic to yourself, it's not good. You're not gonna blame it on certain things. Oh, I was drunk. You're not. You weren't. You're watching porn sober. And so when you look at the human being of holy shit, there's a will of energy. He wants to do something, and it gets repressed, and then it starts turning sexual and deviant and blah blah blah. And it's like, look into your life and see what is the most repressed parts of you. Start with that. That stuff has to transform. And it's as evil as this sounds, some of that has to be explored too. Like, I'm never going to tell a 21-year-old kid that he should, because I know what he's doing when he's repressing that energy. Now, some guys, it does look like some people get more lucky. Like there's a 21-year-old kid who'll, I want a girlfriend, and he'll transform that desire, and he'll get a girlfriend, and he'll have a more stable summertime life, right? That's the transformation of that sin. Eventually, it transforms into something higher called marriage. But you see how the activity happened by, you idiot, by fucking this. It happened because he had the courage to get the bitch. You fucking moron. Do you see how that repressed part where you're like, oh, I've been holding it in for 7 years. Now that repression is, man, I'm thinking of my 18-year-old self, like really repressed. And I would just deny it. I would just deny it. And it's like, dude, the beautiful thing about repression is it's not a cat and mouse game with your shadow like people say it is. No, it's right in your face. You can look in the mirror and say, I am sexually repressed. You can look in the mirror and you're not going to run from that. You're going to be like, oh yeah, actually, I want life right now. You know? Or you could be an idiot, and there's a lot of idiots who always look in the mirror and say, I always want sex. No, that's a lie. That's not even true. Right? But there are times in your life where you're going to look in the mirror and be like, oh shit, I'm not really in the adventure of the world. But I've been told by Christian monks to not fuck bitches. And it's like, they are in their highest level of initiation. Okay? Do you really think that they spend many, many incarnations? They've been children too, they've been teenagers as well. Right? So you need to stop saying I'm running. There's a lot of repressed people on Twitter, on everything, on every social, young Zoomer men who think that they are prophets because they haven't. And it's like, dude, you are not a prophet. You are not at that level of initiation. You are not even going to be close to that level. Actually, I think you are further away from that level than the devil himself, than the actual devil. Yes, I think the devil will be transformed into an angel before you. That's how far away you are. Any human who looks you in your eye, who looks in the mirror and thinks they're a prophet on earth, or that they're at the highest level of initiation, these people are the worst devils in the universe. These are the most repressed souls, right? Get your experience in the world and cash out, okay? Cash out with that experience. Let it transform to something higher. Go on the date with the bitch, then go get a girlfriend. Then later in many years, get married. Don't lose half your stuff, Don't be an idiot. You don't have to be an economic slave. You can play it normal, right? Like everyone else. Everyone else in the red pill, hopefully, that's doing this. Because that would be just a shame if you see red pill guys lose half their shit. That would be the worst nightmare to see. But yeah, it's like start seeing sin as something transforming. Stop seeing it as something static or some guy with an orthodox little cross or some fucking repressed dude is telling you this, that. It's like, dude, I'm telling you right now, you don't want a dragon with 1,000 heads when a 7-headed dragon is hard enough, right? You can grow more heads. You can be repressed. I think the number one thing that Zoomers fight is this sexual repression, which is, I like to call it a repression from adventure. You know, it's not actually, because when you have sex, you go, well, man, it wasn't actually the sex I wanted. It's more the whole adventure of getting her, going out with our friends. We went to a festival. We had the whole experience, the laughs. So the whole adventure is what's repressed. It's not actually the coming inside of her part, although it does look like that, right? Because that's like the spearhead of it. And when you look at that whole adventure of going to the festival, having fun with her and all that, what you're looking at is love, right? The architecture of love, that you spend many days together with her and built strong, loving thought forms. Stop thinking it can't happen in a day. It can happen in a minute. Are you kidding? Like, you don't know how starved the human being is of love. So when you start generating it, pumping it out of you, and you're convinced it's coming from the world, because it does feel like that. It echoes back. You're like, whoa, the world is giving me so much love. We got a hot dog together, and we're at the fucking festival, we're having fun, and holy shit, the world's filled with color. And wait a minute, this is evil. No, it's not evil, you dumb fucking monkey. No, it's not. Look into what the Christian mystics have said about how life goes. You know, look into the prodigal son journey. Get this repressed thinking out of your head that I'm an insult because I'm a prophet. You are not a prophet. You watch, how the fuck are you a prophet? You know? And by the way, if you ever are convinced you are the prophet of this incarnation, newsflash, that means you get killed. That means you get killed for what you love in this lifetime. Are you ready for that? No, you're not. None of you are. What are you talking about? That means you get destroyed by society, and that means you live like a Soren Kierkegaard incarnation where you lose 5 siblings in a row and the love of your life. But you have to tell her no, because you are on your religious path. It's not about the aesthetic anymore. It's not about the ethical. You've transcended both. And it's like, the best progress is adventure progress, okay? I wouldn't say this to fuck up your life. Actually, I don't think you should ever be listening to me if you don't want. Don't listen to me. But if you're that guy watching in the shadows, but you're an incel who gets no, you're in grave danger with that kind of repression. I've been there, bro. I get it. You know, like, we've all been teenagers before. Okay, a lot of people, obviously, no adult, your dad, none of your mentors are going to tell you this stuff. Why? Because it's the most embarrassing fucking topic of the human's journey. There's nothing more What human wants to talk about repression? Even Jung will use words like the unconscious and this pushes through you. And it's like, no, let's call it out for what it really is. It's an embarrassing topic because, you look at humans, they're repressed. Even women are repressed, which is mind blowing, right? For them, it looks a little different. But I'm telling you right now, it's like, it's an embarrassing topic. No human actually wants this topic to come out. And especially like an older guy telling a younger guy, it's because what he's really telling you is that he's been through it, which is the most embarrassing story ever. It's like, you've been repressed. And it's like, yeah, you meet any human who's 18, 19 years old, you know, that's like the most repressed the human could be, right? Around that age. And you don't realize that there is no demon with that casual, because you're doing it with you're building it up. You're gonna do it in the real world eventually, right? Some of you guys. And it's like, dude, I'd much rather you just follow. Remember when we'd all have some archetypal boomer in our life who says, "Do you get any pussy? You get any pussies?" Or like, I used that. We all had that uncle that would like joke around, but he's really trying to help us in our incarnation, right? As in, like, are you generating love out in the world? Are you doing what the young mischievous soul is supposed to do to learn, right? Which is strange because it's like, a lot of people have asked me, it's like, can you learn about life if you never have a girlfriend? No, you cannot. What are you talking about? Why would you ever? What? Who are you listening to that's telling you you can go your whole life without a girlfriend? You know how black and frozen your heart will become? You know how crystallized you will be? What are you fucking, you know what? Google what percentage of the population can actually get away with that. It's mind blowingly small, right? You'd have to go to the asexuals. So, it's springtime and, for many years, like my audience they'd never hear me talk about this side because it is kind of embarrassing. Like I have doctor's shame, like people come to me as like, you're my soul physician. I need to talk to you, Zherka. And it's like, how the doctor is also embarrassed to talk to you about certain things. Like he kind of pulls back on certain topics. I have that too, where I feel like a doctor. I don't want to talk about that stuff because, it's hard to go to those kind of memories where, I look at like my buddies would be repressed for a couple years and then they'd get the girl and then it was me. And, I do things the long way. So when I think of like, yeah, when I think of how I built the shadow, if you don't believe me, what do you think a Zherka is? Like look into a Zherka incarnation, look into the clips. You know how like I'll have pure posts on Twitter and really dark posts right on top of it? And it'll go one pure, one dark, one pure. There's a reason I do that to show you the two forces in me that have to actually get married into the middle force. And which is like it's not just entertainment. It is entertaining to see someone who's embraces his contradictions, but I show it as in like, stop thinking you're that 18-year-old kid who gets no very repressed and you're worse than Zherka. No, you're not. You know how I know you'll be worse than Zherka is when you are online on the internet being, everyone's talking about you as the next Zherka. That's when you see repression showing its ugly head. That's why when people are like, well, I don't know, Zherka, I feel like you always got bitches. It's like, no, you cannot birth a Zherka type of energy in the world without repression. It's not, so, it's not like I'm saying it's the worst thing in the world. I'm just saying stop looking to therapy and psychology and all this stupid shit when all of it is pointing to repression. It's the therapist will sit with you for like 8 hours dancing around the question about repression because it's embarrassing, right? And repression, it shouldn't be seen as embarrassing because if you're mature enough to admit, you would much rather go to a music festival with a beautiful girl, have a bunch of fun for a couple of days, and have nice, than go to a hotel 10 times. I guarantee you the sex will be better in when you're doing things out of love instead of instinct. It's like ask any human. It's like their greatest memories is the whole composition of love. It's not just the in and out, in or out, all that. It's not that. It's trust me when I say, I mean, it sounds awesome, like, oh, having sex in a hotel 10 times in a row. It sounds awesome on paper. It sounds way better than actually going on a date and stuff like that. But I'm saying on a good date, like a music festival where you're having a bunch of fun. I'm not saying like a regular date where it's boring as fuck and you're talking about nothing. I'm saying on an adventure, a road trip or something like that. And then you see the architecture of love building in your life and you're like, and you're generating it, which you can never convince a young guy that you're generating it because it always feels like, when you're not with her anymore, you're like, well, it came from the outside world. And it's like, no, dude, you're here to learn that you can generate it through your own heart chakra. That's the most important lesson on earth. It's a lesson that goes by so many people's heads. Like, go out into public and look at 40-year-old men. Do you see bitter faces? And like, even if they're having fun, it's like their laughter is actually tears. You know what I mean by that? And it's like, oh shit, there's humans out there that, it's like almost I don't want to say they forget their ability to love, but they harden, they turn into they turn into Andrew Tate, like someone who you can tell, like, how do you have women and you're still sounding sexually repressed and really fidgety and like scared all the time? And it's like, oh, this soul is really not developed. Like, some people think I talk about this spirituality stuff as like some hippie woo woo shit. No, love is a genuine force in the world. That's why the most popular religion on earth, Christianity, it doesn't talk about any higher principle. Christianity lifted truth, the highest principle before Like look into the pre-Socratics and all the pre-Socratic age and all that. Look into everything before Christianity. The truth was considered the highest, like the highest reality, and it's not just a word. It's a literal mental architecture of matter. It's above matter. Truth is everything. It's like, don't see it as just a phantom or whatever you've been trained to see it as, like, well, it's subjective. It's no, it's a living, breathing process. But Christianity lifts love as the high, as truth, love and truth being one, as the unity, as the totality. Love is at the top of it. And you look at a human's life and it's like they have a couple dates, a couple good years with a girl and a breakup. And so, you look at a human's love and they have what? A couple years of love in their life. But they're meant, which is, still healthy because they're training it like a muscle. And it's like, no, dude, train yourself. Go shoot for the goal of 72 years of love on earth. When you're alone, when you're with a girl, when you're with friends, aim for developing this heart chakra. That's what you should be. Don't look at your parents or your grandparents. These, respect to your family and all that, respect your family, but spiritually, your family are a bunch of losers. Like, don't ever look into the world and see humans and think these are winners. You can love them, but don't look at them as winners. You can love their contradictions. Do not look at humans as winners. Do not look at a billionaire as a winner. Look at the prophets as winners. Look at the bodhisattvas as winners. Look at the people who say, I will help this young man as the winner. Look at people lifting other souls that are stuck in the mud of matter as winners. When you start seeing the winners as the loving types, you want to become like them. Becoming like them is progress. You won't give a fuck about anything else. It's like, let's say your dad is some billionaire, right? And let's say he died a long time ago, this billionaire dad of yours. You know what I would do to snap you out of it? Snap you out of, oh, I have to become like this guy. It's like, I would go to a graveyard and start digging up bones. And you'd be like, what are you doing, Zherka? Why'd you take me here? And I'll be like, I'm trying to find which bones are your father and which bones are a peasant's bones. That this money thing, you need to get out of your head. I promote making a shit ton of money because it's fucking easy. It's 2026. So you have a phone. You give any monkey a phone, they can make money. Are you kidding me? But I will never promote this idea that there's a threshold you hit for happiness, because happiness is identical, linked to love. And whatever you're doing without love is a waste of time, right? It is a waste. You can see a street cleaner who's about to go to home to his wife and get some good pussy, and he's cleaning the fuck out of that street with love. He's happier than you, and you got a billionaire father. So stop thinking you're in a world of clouds and all of this imaginations and stuff like. Stop thinking that world is just nothing. That world is bigger than money. It's bigger than money, dude. Okay? Your inner world is much more rich than money. Although you should have money, you're an adult. You should be fucking killing it in life. By the way, if you don't have money, you should be absolutely peeled, shredded, like to the bone. If you're not going to be the money incarnation, you better be peeled, shredded. Because when I didn't have money, at least I was fucking 270, most jack guy at the party in the bathroom. Well, although it wasn't with love back then, it was something else. Holy shit, I was really, really dark at that age. I think of like the trend days. 23 years old, bro. I was having a blast with everyone. I was, a loving incarnation. But when I think of like fucking her in the bathroom, bro, it was on some like, I hate you, bitch. And I would take that back actually, because like there's no point, there's never a point in having sex with a beautiful woman if there's no love there. Because what happened, and I'm being technical too about this. What happens when you do that is you kind of just drop dick on her for 5 minutes and piss out your orgasm. And you're kind of like, well, I don't know. I still feel restless. And it's like, dude, when there's love involved, you're enjoying dropping dick inside of her. Okay. You're both smiling at each other. You guys are happy. And we got to aim for that because a lot of people are convinced like Zherka gets all the bitches because he's like this caveman that yells at them. It's like, I do both. What are you talking about? I speak my mind, I yell at them, but I'm also very loving. If I was one sided, let's say if I was like Myron, I think Myron gets a lot of bitches, I think he's done good for his own life. But I wouldn't put Myron, Fresh, Sneeko, I wouldn't put any of these people on my level. For getting women? Would you put another human for pulling women? Would you put another human on a Zherka level? Hell, not even a broke Zherka level. What the fuck are we talking about? Hell no. Hell no. And why is that? Is because Zherka embraces the opposites. Zherka is I'm not a Jungian, but I like, I understand Jung's teachings of like, Zherka brings love and hate. He brings both. Whereas some of these guys just bring hate. And that turns into loops and stuff. And it's like, no, I'm very in the middle of myself. And I embrace the contradictions until I transform and become a better person. And that's a slow process, but it's better than no process. Like you, like a bunch of you, stuck on loops. Uh, but anyways, I do these spaces because I feel guilty. If I wake up with two beautiful women, there's this guilt I have where it's like, it's not that guilt of, I should be married, that you guys have. But it's like, no, I'm a baby. I'm 32. Like, I'll get married at 60. No, 55, 55. But yeah, it's this guilt of, it shouldn't be this easy for me and that hard for they're working construction. They're building a mall site outside, I can see. And, they look really like, dude, I could go for some pussy right now. And there's this guilt of being on a high rise. When you lived many years as a broke guy, so you feel the construction worker's heart because you were once in his shoes. And then you're at the top floor of the penthouse getting your dick licked by two beautiful, they look like fucking angels. Because I don't go for anything. Ask Kendall what I go for. Like these women look like fucking angels. These women don't have any body fat, but their ass is so soft. So how are you fucking anorexic skinny but have ass? Like, where am I finding you guys? And it's because I'm rejecting a lot. I'm going through a big process. And I don't really like talking about all the women in my life for this King Solomon shit because it's always, I would repeat them. I would go to my states and stuff, but this is a new land, so this is like fresh, and it's very fresh. It feels great, and there's some guilt too, where it's like, oh, I have a whole audience. I mean, the whole world. I mean, there's guys with girlfriends who don't even get pussy from their girlfriends. It's like there's humans who are not living correct, and then they're convinced, well, if I yell at her like Zherka, that she'll like me. And it's like, no, Zherka's also sweet too. It's like, why is he pushing Jung on you? Is to show you the opposites at play in the world, right? Never look at something as good or evil. Look at it right in the middle with clear eyes. Look at it. When you look at a woman as good or evil, that's the end of you and her, man. But when you look at her for being both, just like you are both, you will love her. And it's not going to be that gay love that ruins your life. It's going to be, hey, we're going the same way. And I definitely can make your life less heavy just by generating love through my heart chakra, just by doing that, let alone going on dates and stuff like that. And it's like, do I like, you got to really ask yourself, does Zherka like flexing on the masses? Not really. I haven't been live in like 3 years. People go live to flex, by the way, like that's the whole point of it, right? Like that's the whole point of having one of those kind of live stream channels. Like I don't really give a fuck about flexing. I like to disappear more than, I like to flex on myself, but or like if you come into any of my calls at thezerkaofficial.com, join our secret society and just hammer your mind with mine. Just hammer it until sparks fly. Because I'm those people who I will not talk. I will not get in front of a microphone unless I'm going to change lives. I'm not going to just yap. And yeah, it's genuinely from the bottom of my heart. I'm telling you guys, there's no reason I should be getting emails like for example, for years I'm pushing Jung on you guys, and you guys are convinced I'm just yelling at hoes. What the fuck? I don't even do that on podcasts. I'm very sweet on podcasts as well. I'm not just a fucking maniac on there. I do both. As a lot of you guys don't realize, there's like all of your failure in life is going to come from black and white thinking. Do both. You know, oh, should I read the Bible or should I fuck bitches? Do both. You will end up in a better place than repressing it. Unless you're the type of person that doesn't watch porn. If you're one of these asexual types, then just stay with the scripture and see how your soul unfolds. You can always feel it day by day. Then not that you should. You shouldn't ever be wanting dramatic changes. I speak dramatic to make it interesting because I don't like boring talkers, but it is a slow ass process. Like whatever you're trying to do in this world, it's a slow process. Trust me. Even if you're speed running it, it's like, for example, I've tried to speed run things in my career that's taken, let's say, a couple of years. And that was the fast version. But you think of how long a couple of years is, dude, that's a long time. Then you look at the average guy, it takes like 7 years to get something going in their career. And you're like, whoa. So that time should humble you that, yeah, even if you're speed running things in your life, it's a slow process. And, there's a reason why you're meant to learn everything in an extremely slow way over thousands and thousands of years. It's because one thought that's evil can harm someone else. And when you're becoming a co-creator as you're evolving, you must be able to control that thought. Because it's not like you're going to have your own little bubble world. The devil is going to offer you that. But when you're trying to ascend to higher realms, your one thought whole city. That's how powerful humans are going to become. And that's why you must have full control over your mind. That's why it takes this fucking long. And the things that speed you up is traumas. Traumas really humble the soul and let it really unfold and self-remember. But you got to remember, it's like, whoa, patience is the highest virtue. There is no virtue higher. Patience is love, right? When you love someone, you will be patient with them. Make no more. If you don't love them, give me a pussy now. You'll get frustrated and angry with them, which is not good. And a lot of you guys don't realize that it's like, I think I'm the only philosopher on earth that said, you can go through Kierkegaard's aesthetic or ethical living, or even higher, the transcendence, the religious life. No, I believe in all at the same damn time. And it sounds like a crazy art project where it's like, wait, you want me to have a religious life with hoes and be a good person on top of that in my community all at the same damn time? Yes. Yes. I believe it's like a shoe. When you're tying your shoe, you pull different strings in different periods of your life, depending what you're going through. But eventually you pull that string in as you age. The side of you that has to be developed will show. And why am I saying this on a call today is because I spent many years not getting after it. And strange, I'm a human with no regrets, but damn, I regret that shit. Do you ever spend a couple years not getting after it? And then you spend, let's say, the next 10 years going after it. You go, whoa, there's like two different animals. There's like two different species. There's a you that doesn't get it, and there's a you that's going after it. And only one of them is real. The other is a million versions of comfort and shadows and everything away from exhaustion. Exhaustion is fine. You're going to go to bed tonight and sleep like a baby anyway, especially if you're exhausted. You're meant to go after it and get it, right? And so the number one thing I think is mastery, right? Number two is I don't want you to master something being repressed. Why, Zherka, you did it. Nah, I was faster than you. The way I'm seeing Zoomers move is like, dude, they're not repressed for a couple of years. They're repressed for like 10 years. Uh, then you have a different animal. Then you have like suicide as the animal. And I don't need that for anyone following me. right? That's why I promote battle scars. I promote you guys fucking up your lives. I promote progress through damage. And I don't see any other progress really to be made, especially as a young guy. I promote mistakes. I don't even believe in mistakes. I don't think a human has ever, for example, I think each mistake is a brick, right? In the scaffolding of success. So I've never even, like, I've never seen a human who's successful without a billion mistakes. I've never seen that in my life, you know? Steve Jobs or whatever. So I've never seen, when people say mistakes, you're just saying loading to me. Oh, I made another mistake in my life. You're loading. You're not making mistakes. It's just loading. Right? You're waiting for your LimeWire, right? And a lot of you guys getting frustrated as fuck with thinking that things just unfold at some kind of rapid pace. And it's like, if you're looking at a human's life where it's unfolding quickly, you're seeing pain, right? You're not seeing it because you're an idiot. But if something's happening quickly, that's from pain. Make no mistake about that. It's like you didn't go through that, so you don't deserve that. Trust me. Can things happen without pain? Just naturally happen? I don't believe at all. I think I think pain is buried in you, and then it starts to unfold later in life, and you go, "Oh, I'm getting lucky." You're not getting lucky. You're healing. You're healing. You're finally healing. You know. And what is healing really besides awareness? You're just becoming more aware of what's happening, right? You're becoming more conscious. And people confuse this consciousness thing. It's like, dude, every day of your life, you are trying to you're sparking rocks. You're sparking rocks for that flame of consciousness. Okay. Over time, this changes your inner world. That's what you want. Don't confuse it. Don't think I'm working hard just for working. Some people think I work hard for 7 years and then I got lazy. I work hard for this many years. No, you didn't. You've changed for life. You have that success for life. Don't worry, you've changed. Now you can do things even at a quicker pace, but don't ever think it's like, well, I lost everything I worked for. It's like, no, you're changing your soul, your inner world. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not valuable, right? Another thing is like, get something in your life. Okay. Like a bunch of you just repressed, stupid, dropping scripture on me all day. And it's like, dude, you're gonna die alone because you're not going on dates. I don't want you to die alone. You don't want to die alone. Your parents don't want you to die alone. And you running to scripture isn't making you a prophet. Okay. Because all you're doing is watching porn and reading scripture. That's all you guys ever do. And it's no wonder I make fun of religious people the most. It's like, someone tells me they're religious, they're telling me they're repressed. Okay. And look, you guys are going to be adults. You're not going to get hugs from your mom anymore. You're going to need hugs from your girlfriend. You don't want to be a repressed fucking, oh, I'm cooking all day. I'm just cooking in anger. It's like, bro, stop that shit. This idea that you're someone special, it's ludicrous. It's stupid. Right? You can actually see what humans are special in the world, right? People love to hear their shit. They're followed around like dogs, and then they can't handle it, right? Like there's never been a popular human that handled their popularity. The ego inflation trial, they always fail that, you know? This is a bunch of souls saying, yo, help me, help me, help me. And you're like, man, fuck, bro. At some point, this is getting exhausting. It's like I miss the old Zherka where I would just say fuck sluts. Now I have to explain why you should fuck a woman. Imagine me having to explain in a longer format because it's been years and it's like the same emails. It's like, guys, you're watching porn. You're not pure. Stop with this purity spiraling shit. And it's really offensive to the saints and the prophets and people who went through that. The people who went through the highest levels of initiation, it's really insulting that you think you're like them. You're not. You're watching porn and you're saying you don't fuck sluts. Dude, you're watching porn. Get a girlfriend, get your fucking life together. Stop watching little Christian channels telling you, just stay alone and yourself. What are you talking about? You talk to your family and your parents about marriage. You fucking. I'm getting emails from guys saying 10 years have passed. They haven't gone on one date. Then what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing if you're not meeting people? Like what are you doing? You're making spreadsheets for your boss? Or even worse, you become successful with no pussy. This is a fucking nightmare. It's like you can't even generate love through your heart chamber, but you have money? Like what the fuck? How's that? You gotta be the most poor person on earth. Right? You're like Andrew Tate hanging out with Olgas. The fuck? There's a huge irony to that. Let's make another espresso. Caffeine is good. If you need caffeine to move, you're weak. But if you move without caffeine, you can add some caffeine. Let's see. All right, let's get some questions from the niggas. Hey, go ahead, Jack. What's your question, bro? Speak, bro. Jacob and Slime. Dude, I'm so veiny. What the fuck? Caffeine. Yeah, go ahead.
Look, I understand what you're saying about getting out there, talking to bitches every now and then. Let's dance your soul. But what about that success period? Wouldn't you agree that it's necessary to dial it in for a certain amount of time to get the money up?
Yeah, how long have you been going? Has it been 7 years for you?
No, no. So I just got out of a relationship like 5 months ago, and
So you're not even grinding, you're in pussy.
trying to get out of pussy though. I'm grinding, but the pussy is distracting me.
You're not even grinding. Your question's about
Yeah,
grinding.
because I need to get to that point.
Okay, what's the question?
Like, don't you think it's more necessary to dive into that to get to that successful period? Maybe a year, 2 years.
Uh, no, I think let's say you go 7 years of grinding your face off. I think one dude who goes through one heartbreak in that 1 year, he'll make way more success than you in 7. I've seen it billion times over. A guy goes through heartbreak and pops the fuck off. That guy laps the fuck out of the grinders. So, do I believe in hard work and grinding your face off? I did it, so I have to promote it. I did do the insult path, which is, it was a lot of repression. And then I started fucking bitch. I was angry about it. But I'll tell you this, it was always some woman in my life that pissed me off enough to transform. And a lot of people think, well, Zerka's more Casanova. I'm a nerd, so it's not going to happen to me. Oh, it will happen to you. If you're living your life, if you're social, if you're this word normal needs to be thrown around more. You got to be a lot more normal. I'm telling you, look at normal people who have girlfriends and grind their faces off. They go far in life too. Stop thinking it's all about just this repressed energy. I believe in heartbreak. I really don't want a young guy to not go through heartbreak because he could turn into that person who has 10 years of grinding and he still doesn't pop
He'll be
off.
33
And it's
believing
like,
these hoes.
dude,
Yeah. I mean, I just got my heart ripped
yeah,
out
yeah,
too,
yeah, exactly.
but
I don't think you did.
well, I didn't cry, but it definitely fucking hurt.
And what's the reason? Was it you guys just broke up because she's being a fucking modern woman?
Yeah, she fucking convinced me that she was pure, and then she went to Mexico and got fucked by a random Mexican.
Yeah, what the fuck in Cancun?
Fucking Guadalajara or some bullshit, bro.
Some fucking favela
And she got
nigga
caught
went
red-handed. That's the
inside
worst
of.
part. Like,
How you flew there
nah,
and
it's a
you
long
found her?
story, but basically, like, I grew up with this chick, right? And so I know her brothers, and her brother walked in on it. Fucked.
And he
He
told
called me
you
immediately, and he's like, "Nigga, you need to see this shit."
what? Her brother snaked her? That makes no
Well, he's
sense.
like, he was one of my best friends. Like, I knew him before.
I started dating her. So
Wow.
he's like, I can't let this slide. You know what I mean?
And what'd she say when you confronted her?
Well, she tried to lie, but I'm like, let's not fucking play games here. And then she begged me to stay, and I was like, I can't. Like, how the fuck can I stay? And she begged me for about a month, but eventually, like, she backed off. Now she's in the streets.
Oh, she
Yeah,
transformed.
like she's a real club girl now.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
You know what's funny is there is a secret. I'm not saying this is what happened, but usually if you go through that kind of traumatic experience, the number one reason is because in a past life you did it to her. And so her unconscious soul has to snake you back. And I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm saying for a lot of guys that their whole lives change when their girl cheats on them. The pain is not actually her cheating. The pain is the soul confronting the fact that it cheated first. And that humbles human beings. They go, whoa, and this secret is obviously known by bodhisattva masters and prophets and high level initiates because they teach in just forgiveness, forgive no matter what, as in you did it to her first. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying because it sounds like it wasn't that much. Maybe it was a
It's funny you
transformative
say
experience,
that
but
because she was accusing me of cheating for like months before this happened,
there
but
you
I never
go.
cheated. Like she's having dreams about me cheating and
Well,
shit.
well. Oh, she's having
Yeah, like a
dreams.
week before she left for Mexico,
Oh,
she. So I went over to her house and then like I slept over, and she wakes up the next morning fucking pissed off at me. She's like, "Yo, I
yeah.
had a
Well,
dream that you fucked a
that's
bitch."
usually that's usually a sign that she had a dream that she got
God
porno.
damn
You
it!
know that, right? Yeah, and to go further, I don't want to always make it cosmic, but at the end of the day, here's the answer: is there has never been a man who is innocent and got cheated on. In the long scope of history, in the long scope of your timeline spiritually, you accumulate a lot of evil, and that evil has to be confronted through trauma. That's why, a lot of people are like, when bad stuff happens to you, Zerka, how come you're always smiling and laughing? And it's like, I look forward to it. I look forward to evolving. I don't know how you guys don't. And I'll tell you this, man, that happy life of you and her just at the swimming pool, relaxing, stuff like that. You just got to remember that happy life that people promise, that
There's much to
involves
smile about,
freezing in
but
matter.
it definitely
Yeah, you got to
it
turn
helped
that.
me ascend. So I'm grateful for that much at least.
What is that beeping sound? Are you kidding me, bro? Like, come on. How do I have to tell you? Like, are you retarded? Beep beep beep. The guy just leaves it on like a fucking. This guy's actually traumatized by that bitch. But I'll tell you this: that happy ending you want with a woman that everyone wants, that actually implies being stuck in matter, frozen in time, right? Because you got to remember, why wasn't it like this in the olden days? When souls put off what they're supposed to do, the trauma ramps up and becomes faster and faster. That's why marriages are so short now. But another thing is like when it accumulates for too much without being addressed, it turns into world war. So don't forget that it's like if you've ever incarnated as a World War II soldier, that's a lot of unchecked sin that you're trying to burn off immediately in one lifetime. So the more it accumulates, the rougher it gets. So a lot of people don't realize that it's like, yeah, so what? You're gonna go through divorces and breakups. I think there's been way worse. Like imagine a World War II incarnation where you don't have an arm and a leg and holy shit, you're just trying to make up for everything you've done in your past. And it's like, dude, it's not that bad. And yeah, as soon as you guys get in the middle and start seeing the world the way I see it, it's fun. And these women really suck your dick when you calm down. They really like you when you don't like them. You just have love for every human in your hotel room. All right. Just don't invite any men over. You're good, right?
What the fuck?
You know what I'm saying, right? Don't invite any men over because your heart chamber could be too open to that. It sounds like you've had some gay experiences, right?
Fuck you, Zerka. But not nowadays. Nowadays they're chasing me. So I guess maybe yeah, it has calmed me down because I don't really pursue them the same way anymore. Like I used to be much more,
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
following the data IQ shit, so I was hands on with the bitches. Nowadays I kind of just sit
yeah,
back and it seems to be working better, at least for me anyways. I'm a big scary nigga, so you know how that goes.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like a lot of guys are like, "Yo, you're promoting going forward on the bitch." Yeah, because the clip I'm watching is of a nerd. I'm not telling a 6'7" dude to go forward on the
Yeah.
bitch, am I? Come
I
on,
used
bro.
to scare
Or
these
people
bitches
like,
sometimes.
yeah, yeah, I used to scare them too. It's like, bro, now I'm hella aggressive when they're laughing, but I'm not aggressive out the gate. What the fuck? That's retarded. And well, though I'm not really running game, I'm letting game run me. Like these bitches are picking me up. It's fucking wild out here. But I appreciate you sharing that because let me tell you, man, if it's your high school crush and stuff, when I get those kind of emails, that's the hardest shit to
It's
read.
worse
It's
than
like,
high school, bro. We fucking damn near grew up together. But hey, man, I'm glad
oh
I
my,
got to talk to fucking Zerka about it. You probably would have given me the best possible advice
yeah.
about it. So thanks, bro.
What position? What position was she in?
Fucking hell. Probably doggy style,
What? No,
bro. No, I don't know.
no. Did her brother
He didn't give
say?
me specifics. He just called me. This is how the call went. He picks up. He's like, "Yo, sorry to break the bad news, but my sister is a whore." Par for par.
What the
And then
fuck?
she actually told me that like nothing ever happened. Like the guy didn't go inside, but like let's be real here. Come on, you know. Like she said, she got caught before
Yeah,
he fucked, but he probably fucked her 10 times on the trip. So I just call a spade a spade. I hugged it. I got new pussy and shit already. So I'm not down bad.
yeah,
Not down bad,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't think I'm ever gonna have an experience like that again, bro. I knew her since I was 7 years old.
No, you're gonna have a better one because I always tell people, you meet two women in your life that are experiences, and the rest are like fun. But a lot of people told me, no, I've met like three or four. I've loved a woman four times. I was like, no, no. I think when we're using the love word, there's going to be two women in your life. One where you're doing the best in life, and so you can actually and be confident enough to have a girlfriend. A lot of us have girlfriends when we're not shit, but when you are the shit and you have a girlfriend, it's a very different experience. Really different. It's like even the sex, everything is different. And then there's a mature one you'll have later in life that that one checks that. And I think there's three. One, the youthful one that you forget about because she gets replaced by the second one. That's like when you're doing good in life.
Mm.
And then there'll be one more, but usually two or three. I hate people who think that you're gonna have like eight huge lessons. It's like, no, no, you're gonna trust me. You're not gonna have eight women giving you heavy lessons. That's if it was true like that, I would have 1,000 women who gave me lessons. No, I just fuck 1,000 women. You know
And
what I
how
mean?
many of those a
It's not
thousand
like
actually gave you a harsh lesson?
I think two. I think maybe two. Maybe I'm trying to think of it. I'm trying to think of one when I was 21. It's just when the lesson you don't. When you stop remembering the woman.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I don't really. As soon as you're old enough to where one of them starts to get blurry and gets replaced by the other one, I don't count that anymore because she's not in the psyche anymore. She's buried somewhere there, but she's occupied by the other lesson. And it's interesting because the hardest lesson I ever got from a female wasn't like cheating or any of this kind of stuff that people go through. My hardest lesson ever was the gratitude thing where it's like I'm sure being women being hoes pisses me off just as much as you and everyone else, but for me one of the hardest experiences that I can never talk to someone and they relate to me. They always talk about cheating and all this stuff, and I'm like, bro, for me one of the greatest betrayals was, have you ever spent so much time and money? And I'm not being materialistic. I'm just saying energy wise, time. Have you ever spent so much time and money with one woman and it doesn't work out for whatever reason? And all of that time and money disappears forever.
Mm.
And I'm not even being materialistic, like I need the money, I'm trying to buy something. I'm just saying that I'm used to life. Everything I do is an investment. And the idea that there's a new girl around that I didn't put this much time and money into really fucking hurts me. Like, and people are like, you didn't spend that much compared to like other influencers. These guys spend millions. Like, they're simps and they buy presents and they do. Mine is just like trips and stuff like that. And I'm like, no, no. There's something really fucking traumatizing about spending years of your money, time, energy, family energy, all that with a human being, and it doesn't get invested. It's like, shouldn't she at least come to my house and clean my room or do something? Like, there's, to me, I see it like as a corporate
Mm.
thing as well, where it's like there's no fucking way. Why do men never talk about that? They only talk about gay little heartbreak story. They never talk about that's a shit ton of time on earth to spend with a soul you're never gonna see
Oh,
again. Where if I spend a shit ton of time and money with a homie, bro, the homie I could call him for favors. You know what I mean?
mhm.
I can call him for serious stuff because it's like, bro, we've been through it. But the idea that when it's a woman, I feel like any woman that spends time, years and years with a man, she owes him a lot in return. I'm not even being selfish. I'm saying she either has to pay the money back or there has to be something where it doesn't feel like, whoa, that shit's fucked up. Because, I come from a culture where the guy has to pay. You got to make money. Most of you guys think like that too. But man, and when I say this, people say, man, you're just being cheap. I'm not being cheap. I'm saying the financial part of modern life, it basically, this is why I fuck women at the beach. This is why I fuck women at the beach. Is like, I don't want to spend money on you. It's like, why the fuck am I gonna do that again? When it's like, I'm rich because I don't spend money on women. I like being rich. I like having resources. There's no one telling me that me losing resources, I have to lose resources to generate love. That doesn't even make sense. What the, you can have fun at the park, you know? So, it changed that, like when women are around me, they're like, dude, you spend so much money on crazy shit. Yeah, but it's on myself. If I want to buy 8 plates of fettuccine, it's for myself. I'm never going to be in that position. Like a lot of guys are convinced that Zerka's future wife, when he's an old man, will be holding his credit card. I will out of her with my fucking knuckles
Oh,
on some. I'll feel. I will beat her on her like some fuck. No one is touching my credit card. Fuck no.
not
That
even
is
a
the
virgin.
greatest. Not even my wife who has my kids will touch my credit card. Not even a virgin wife who has my kids. The idea that I'm slaving away for resources that I have to share because what? Being 6'5" is not good enough? No, bitch, you get Zerka. You know how hard these women come? It's like, bro, I'm not coming that. You're the one coming hard. I'm barely coming compared to you. You get the Chad. I'm getting, a woman, and that's awesome. But like, let's be real out here. You're not getting 6'5" and my credit card. You want to show your mom? Do you have Zerka as a man? You want to, show. You know how they want to show their mom and show off? Yeah, you're not going to show off my credit card. That's fucking crazy. And people are like, bro, it's because you value money and stuff. It's like, no, bro, I spend money like crazy on stupid shit. I don't mind. I don't mind blowing money on. I buy tables for my boys, 800 a pop. I don't give a fuck. $800 in a third world. Here, I'll get ripped off. I don't care about the money stuff. But that sting, that money is going to pussy that's getting fucked by another man, I will never, ever cultivate that sting again in my life. Are you? And I've never bought a girl a gift in my life, which is crazy. I went my whole life without buying a woman a gift. I've given a woman a gift as in like let's say I own something and I handed it to her, but I never went to a store and paid money to, like hell no, right? Maybe a plane ticket to suck my
Real nigga
dick,
shit.
but that's not really. Yeah, yeah. And I get that most guys can't do that. Most guys aren't like 6'5". They can't get away with that. So I'm not like flexing on that. But when it's your when you build up your karmas and you get the 6'5" incarnation, then go play it how you want. But I'm telling you right now, this idea that years go by of her having fun with me, spending my money, and then she's getting fucked by another dude is so funny to me. And people are like, why are you complaining if you're the one who ditched her? Yeah, because it's still cuckery. Like the idea that you look. Have you ever sat down with your tax guy or your accountant, and he goes, "Well, why'd you spend here? Why'd you spend there?" And you go, "Oh yeah, these trips." wait a minute, that girl's not even around anymore. She caught me with another girl. She all mad about that. And, like it's still your fault. But deep down, it's like, dude, stop thinking that your wife is going to be swiping your credit card. That is the gayest way to live your life when she's getting favela by a broke dude with tattoos. Stop thinking you cannot be that broke dude with tattoos. It's like, I don't give a fuck how much money I make on earth, right? And I don't have much I spend on. Like, I'm really rich because I've never had expenses. I've never had everything cash. I've never had expenses. I've always played it smart. I've always, even people are like, well, how the fuck you blow so much doing cocaine in your early years? Yeah, because before I would never go out and do years and years worth of drugs without a backup plan. I'm not an idiot. So I'd go to my twin brother. I'd say, hey, I'm going to be a cokehead for a couple of months, maybe a couple of years. I need you to guard all of my money, make sure I don't blow it. Yeah. And people are like, wait, what? You are like a responsible crack fiend? And yeah, my brother would be like, hey, bro, you're spending over 80,000 a month. I'm going to cut you off. And so when he cut me off, I'd spend the next couple of months hanging out at my buddy's house, and I would pick up the bitches off game because I didn't have money to certain trips and stuff like that. And my buddies would keep me afloat as long as I'm bringing girls over. We had a good system, and that forced me to be like a Chad. And my twin brother would be like, "How the fuck are you still doing coke? I cut you off," and stuff like that. I'd be like, "No, no, the boys are keeping it going." And my brother would laugh. And then over 7 years, it's like I save a. My brother's like, "Holy fuck, you saved up a lot of money." I'm like, "No, I didn't. I was just smart that I knew if, like, for example, when someone's doing drugs, bro, you know that they'll spend every dime they
Yeah,
have.
it's like when the
They,
drunk homie
bro,
starts buying shots.
yeah, find any human who has not raped their. When people say, "Yo, Zerka, well, how are you pro drugs?" I'm pro drugs because I'm smart. I'm not. Every homie I have who pissed away their life savings, partying for 2 years in a different country and all that, they all look at me like, "Oh, what the fuck, Zerka? Drugs are horrible." And it's like, yeah, I don't promote drugs. You have to be smart to party. You can't just party. Like, if you want to be a party guy, you better be responsible. You better have a system. And there's plenty of Wall Street guys who have systems where they cannot piss away their money. But 90% of Wall Street guys piss away all their money. I'm like, what is the point on earth of having family members if you're not going to use them? Right. And it's funny because a drug guy gets really angry when they listen to me. They go, dude, my family, my brother, he cut me off for my money because I'm destroying my life. But I have to buy more coke with whores and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, don't you get that you're being cut off because you're a fiend? Like, that's their job, is to cut you off. And you're mad at that. And so then they get their passwords back and they never give it to their brothers. And I'm like, oh man, people cannot look at themselves in the mirror and realize when they're pissing away their life. When someone loves you and tells you, hey man, you're spending too much partying, that's a good thing. That's the idea that, oh no, I gotta keep it going because I'm on drugs. I don't care how much drugs you're on, I don't care how much alcohol. You should be able to look in the mirror and say, well, that's a loved one telling me I have to stop, so I have to stop. Go do something else for a couple of months. Go build a fucking business. Go, there's other things to do. It's not just about fucking bitches. And people are like, whoa, that's such a mature way of partying. And what? Imagine partying without a fail-safe system, without having family helping you. It's like, bro, use your brother. What the fuck are you doing? It's like when I tell people, don't go to a country and party. Pull out, let's say you're broke, pull out, let's say $2,000 cash. That's all you can use in that country.
Mm.
Do not be those. I have idiots who tell me they go with their credit cards and they come back with like $8,000 of debt. And I'm like, bro, if you want to party in life, you have to be an adult about it. You have to have in your mind that there's a future you're returning to. When people party, their future doesn't exist. They're just in the moment, stuff like that. It's like, bro, you have to return to a future. If you're entering a Luciferic dream world where it's just about partying, you're gonna whole life, and that'll bleed into your relationship life too. Some guys will run around with a girl and they'll just think of this month. What do I do? No, you date a girl, ask yourself, who the fuck is she going to be in 6 months? There's more life to live. Because if you want to do it your way, you might blow a shit ton of money traveling with this bitch and then you'll be pissed about it. No, any other guy who fucks her thinks of the future. That guy at the beach who walks his dog and is broke, right? But he fucks your bitch. Like, just think of like a normal Chad guy who's broke. That guy's thinking about his future. And she's not giving him a fucking hard time. Why the fuck would you think she gives you a hard time? This idea, there's like, it's funny because everyone who learns from me, they're like, dude, the easiest thing was getting the most beautiful woman in my city because I did the Zerka approach where you impress her hard in the first week and then you switch up. Most guys who follow my teachings from my website, they don't actually switch up. They impress her for the first week and they like the results so much that they keep impressing her for the second week and the third week and the Bahamas fourth week and it turns into like this fucking never ending impressing her. That's simping, you fucking idiot. That means you have no your life. You can't lead with anything else besides your wallet. No, if you're going to impress your business partners, if you're going to impress a woman, you got like I'll give you 2 weeks, 1 week at the most, back 2 weeks at the most. You should be able to do everything you're trying to do in 2 weeks, and then live your mature life. And people act like a mature life isn't awesome. Dude, I've had many nights in Colombia. Ask anyone around me where it was just me chilling alone. I've had a lot of women too here, but I'm saying you should be able to slow down. It shouldn't just be a heel mic like faster, faster, faster. And and it's crazy because it's like, man, there, guys, if you're not going to be an adult, don't look in the mirror and say I'm 21 years old, I'm 25 years old, I'm 30 years old. You're not. You're fucking pissing away your life, right? Get mature, get remember these quotes, party responsibly? I believe in that. Party responsibly. Like, why people are convinced that they're going to fucking go hard this spring break. I'm going to go hard and you're going to crash out like that, bro. Look at me. For the next 8 years, I have pussy all around me, right? That's the game plan. Have a bunch of fun, but it's not going to cost me anything. I'm not a fucking idiot. It's literally going to cost me what it would cost me anywhere else because the way I live is like, it's calculated, it's mature. I'm not saying I'm calculated every day of my life. I'm saying I have a game plan and I follow through. I don't have this, damn, I've heard these horror stories in Colombia. I talked to 10 different gringos and they all said the same thing. They're like, oh, I just couldn't stop. I couldn't stop. I pissed away this much savings in 3 years. And I'm like, dude, you go to Vegas and you let Vegas you just stop having fun. If the city is ever you stop having fun, dude. Don't think a city can just like, those guys who go to Vegas and they piss away everything they
Yeah.
have. Why are people blaming drugs for that or alcohol? It has nothing to do with drugs or alcohol. Something's broken in that man. You know how I know? There's sober people who have pissed away their whole lives, sober in Vegas.
Mm.
That look into that. So I'm like, bro, stop blaming the party scene. It's not the party scene. It's something's wrong with you. Something's mentally wrong with you. You have to look in the mirror and say something's mentally wrong with me. And it's kind of like a guy who his girl cheats and he spirals. Okay, why the fuck are you spiraling if your girl cheats? The whole world is telling you you're in 2026. You're in 2026 when women are really free. By the way, women being free, sexually liberated, bro, forget what it does to men. It's destroying women's lives, bro. Look into these women who, like these women, I guarantee you the next year, there's a lot of red pill guys saying these women always land on their feet. No, they don't. A woman marrying her second favorite option is not landing on her feet. That's extremely neurotic human being. Look into psychology of how fucked up these cat women
That's
become.
just the
They
price they
get
gotta pay
really,
though for hoeing too
yeah,
much.
yeah. No, but there's a lot of red pill guys who love to lie and say hoes land on their feet. No, they do. She has knife scars on her wrist. You're gonna see knife scars on a woman's wrist. You're gonna be like, poor lady. She didn't land on her feet if she's cutting her
Mm.
wrist. What are you talking about? This idea that they land on their feet is like you're seeing it for maybe one woman in a city who's like top influencer. You're not for the average woman. It's really bad, and it's interesting. It's also like the hypergamy guys that say all women cheat. Bro, go to different countries. That's not true. There's a lot of romance in third world countries. I'm not after it because I can have romance with anyone. I'm a Casanova incarnation. I don't think my followers are. I think you guys can have romance with one, maybe two girls in your whole city. right? That you focus on. Not that that's the only way, but that's what you guys like. For me, it's different. I could have romance with like 300 girls in a city because I'm a much more religious incarnation. And I'm not talking about like religious, like dogmatic. I'm saying I generate my love through my heart chamber. I've been practicing ever since I was 21. I do it through my heart, whereas you guys do it through union, which doesn't last, and then you're broken for life. I'm telling you guys, develop your heart, develop so you can have love when you go out meeting a new
How do
person.
you develop your
Don't
heart
do
though?
this. It'll always come from adventure, man. I'm a big. I'm telling you right now, the love stories you see about humans is really about the love of the adventure. It's not just the woman, and no one believes me until like much later in their life. But I'm telling you right now, man, get comfortable being by yourself. You know, a lot of people are like, well, Zherka, you're not comfortable being by yourself because you have two girls licking your dick. It's like, no, dude, look at me in the wintertime. I could go months being alone. And I've proven that many times. I could go years. Not that I would recommend that at my age, right? No, that's very stupid because especially if you've got social media, you're a social guy and stuff like that. It's like, bro, you should be with your audience as well. But I'm telling you right now, man, what you're seeing in the world is not guys getting cucked. It's guys who don't like the mirror. They don't like inwardly. They don't like the external. They don't like when you don't like the mirror, bro. You cannot generate a smile in this matrix. And I'm telling you right now, man, she has nothing to do with your mirror. She doesn't even fucking exist. It's you versus you. You got to develop love through your heart. I'm saying that in a way where it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's my bad. It's fine. Take that off. I'm saying that like in a way where it's like I watched some Clav clips and you know how every young boy has that demeanor of they're looking for love and all that, and it's like you're gonna be severely disappointed. Okay. You cannot look for love. You will never find it. It's always been an illusion. It's always going to escape your fingers. You can be love and line up, align towards the Holy Spirit. You can be love. And here's the difference you're smiling whether you're talking to a dude on the street or your crush. But if you're just smiling when it's your crush talking to you and not the random person on the street that's talking to you, you have something severely wrong with you and you're not attractive. You're an ugly soul. Okay. You should be in a loving state. And that's as something that you work at, like it's push ups, right? That's something that's your posture in the morning time that you work on. And people are like, whoa, this is a really tough. No, this is not just tough. There's nothing harder in your life than letting go of your suffering. Like you will never do this correct. Not in 10 years, not in 20. Most people, you'll see 50-year-olds, they have that bitter look on their face. And or you'll have fake positive channels that force the positivity where it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, you can always tell these people are very low levels of development because they're not comedians. They can't make anyone laugh. It's like, oh, you have not seen the world. If you can't make anyone laugh, you have not seen shit. And let's get Jack in here. Let's see who else. Ask your questions, boys. That's crazy though. That's his bitch is.
Um,
And what do we do with forgive them, bro? Just forgive these. There's going to be a lot more you're going to meet anyway. Just forgive everyone, because some things. The most beautiful thing about a cheating 30 years of finding out shit, it's great you found out, right? I
Mr.
think you don't want to waste 30 years.
Mr.
Yeah.
Zerka, a quick question.
Yeah.
Also, thank you so much. Hey, man. I will say I definitely fall into that category of like incel on the grind. It's not that I haven't had, the opportunities. I just wonder. I mean, it might sound trite, but do you, like I don't really go and get stuff. Like I don't really get after it. And I don't know what really inhibits me from that. And I'm just wondering, like, what is your opinion on me just kind of being I guess, an incel loser on the grind, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, my opinion is, there's billions of people who live like that, and my opinion is you are a part of the crowd, and that's it. There's nothing you can do. You'll always have that life. You can see your future by looking at your past and what you're doing. And without dramatic transformation, nothing ever changes. When I look at my past, without me taking extreme measures, everything stayed the same. Did I hurt myself taking extreme measures? Yes. Would I, if I went back in time, would I do it over again like that? Yes, I would. I would 100% because I don't know another way to win besides transformation. And and here's the truth, man. Looking in the mirror and admitting you're an incel loser
Hmm.
is a beautiful first step, but you got to really feel it. I'm not saying like feel bad for yourself. I'm saying like you got to really, with your whole mass, understand your whole life is going to look like this week. These last 7 days you went through will be a cycle that never stops. It's like a lot of fucking self-help coach who tell you life changes and stuff like that. Yeah, through friction, but if it's the same shit over and over again, life don't change. You stay frozen, stuck in matter like a simp bitch. And let me tell you, man, I will never tell you what to do, but I'll guarantee you
Yeah.
this. If you keep repeating the last 7 days of your life, if it doesn't look radically different, you're going to have the same outcome. And that's what insanity is, man, is doing the same shit and thinking, well, the clouds are going to change because I'm doing the same shit. When has the weather ever changed from you doing the same shit? Never, never. Like, I'm telling you right now, man, you should be horrified with where you're at.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%, man. I think, I mean, definitely listening to you these last months, it definitely sits in, like, I guess not guilt, but the shame of just like, man, is this really going to be how I am for the rest of my life? And I mean, obviously, like, the things you say are incredible, man. It definitely has helped me, but you know, I don't know. I don't want to say something dumb. I know you're not going to be like, do this, do that. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how do I make that leap? That leap from getting out of my past experiences and not repeating the last 7 days. I mean, is that stupid? I think I know the answer, I guess, but
Well, I'll tell you this, man. The way I made the leap is I was so fucking disgusted with myself that I said I'll do something no one else on earth does. And I will fucking harm and destroy my whole fucking endocrine system for change. And it was the best shit I ever did. Obviously, it came with a ton of problems, but isn't that liberation when you get new problems and the old ones look pathetic? Bro, I remember just fucking taking it. People know my story. I took such extreme measures, and I'm not recommending anyone does what I did.
yeah.
But if I could go back in time, I would have done the same fucking shit. And let me tell you this, man, there comes a gate in your life where you say, I'm going to get extreme, and let me tell you this, man, getting extreme works. That when you break down that fucking door and you go, holy shit, things are changing at a rapid pace, everything's shifting, everything's moving. It's always from you breaking down the door, but you keep knocking and knocking and nothing ever happens. And let me tell you this, man, whatever you're doing is not involving risk. That's why it looks so ugly in the mirror. You're like, bro, nothing's happening. The mirror keeps looking the same.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing has no risk attached to it, so nothing's happening. There is no risk, no reward. I can't eat. I can. The only times in my life things have shifted for me is high risk, and people are like, "Yo, bro, that's kind of terrifying." And it's like, if it didn't have the terror, it doesn't have the alchemical change at all. It doesn't. It needs the terror.
And is that risk for you, like in your life, that risk was just like becoming the extrovert and just going crazy and really, is that what you mean by that, or?
Bro, I went from video gaming
Hmm.
to doing fucking I'm not saying you should do this,
Yeah.
but for me, it was, I said, I'm going through a spiritual psychosis sober. I might as well punch it. And, you could kill yourself doing
Yeah.
this. It's not an answer. But I remember doing a bunch of fucking steroids and cocaine until that mirror looked like Wolverine. And man, everything started shifting for me. My nose would bust out and bleed. My fucking body was failing. I was running to the emergency room dying, and Zerko was born. And I talked to my therapist, which is my brother, and he said, "See, you fucked your whole life up." And I'm like, dude, I'm rich in Colombia. I haven't worked in 2 years. I love what I do. How the fuck did it not work out? And my brother's like, well, you were in the hospital many times. And I'm like, to me, that's worth it. I don't give a fuck what anyone else says. Living this life that I lived for the last 7 years, yeah, it was worth, going getting hospitalized for it and hurting myself. I don't care what anyone says, because let's say if I'm lying to myself and it wasn't worth it, why the fuck are you all watching me? Why is every human on earth watching me if it's not worth it?
Yeah.
It's not that I'm that entertaining. The reason the world watches every move I make, even if I disappear for years, is because the world wants to be me more than humans want to be Zerka more than they want to meet God. That's how fucking stupid humans are. It's like humans want Zerka's life more than they want truth, reality. And it's like, why? Well, I'm the freedom guy. I'll always be the freedom guy. I'll die as the freedom guy. I might even die early. Who knows? But I'll always be remembered as the freedom guy. And humans want freedom more than anything. I mean, have you ever seen someone laugh with genuine freedom? It's the most beautiful thing you'll see on the street at a coffee shop. Have you ever seen someone leaning back and having their espresso and they're laughing, and you could just tell that guy doesn't have a fucking care in the world, and he's worked his ass off for something and it all paid
Yeah.
off? That's the best fucking feeling on earth. And you want to share it with the world. Like, I want to share it so bad that I promote extreme behaviors. I don't promote it, but definitely, if you're talking about how mine went, it's a way of promoting it. And people don't, a lot of people, everyone and their mom said, "Oh, he'll be back in 2 weeks." Bro, I haven't come back in years, bro. When you're liberated, you are genuinely liberated from, what is that called? Fucking Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, That world is so shit. That world where you're doing shit for other people,
Yeah.
nothing makes sense. Bro, that confusion world, it's interesting to me that most human beings can't in public because
Yeah.
their boss might find out. And I'm like, damn, bro, I'm living. Yeah, I talk to my parents, I talk to my brothers, I talk to my friends, and they're like, what the? You could just say anything, you could just do anything, you could just be anywhere in the world. And not, most people have to, do vlogs to travel the world for 8 years. I'll be traveling for 8 years. That's insanity, dude. For the next 8 years, I will be traveling, and not like before. Like, these travels are nothing to what I make. So yeah, this is a different type of freedom. And the only time I've seen someone in my shoes is someone who has to grind. I don't even have to grind. I'm in a different fucking ball game of freedom. And you can't melt away and get lazy. I don't get lazy. I do a bunch of strenuous shit, especially mentally strenuous shit. Like, I know what I'm doing now, but it's like, what do you tell the world? It's like, when you knock on the door of success your whole life, it never opens. But when you kick that motherfucker down, fucking new doors start, fucking just new chambers start, everything starts sliding open.
Man, that, yeah. Thank you, man. Yeah, just thank you. I think a lot of people, I don't think you get praised enough for the things you say. Not that, you're here for the praise, of course, but it definitely, I mean, helps so many people. I mean, only the results will show. Hopefully I can, really go that extreme. I mean, I definitely will. I will say, do you ever like that moment when you're kind of at the bottom? Was it really just that pain that kind of turned you over? Of wow, I'm like you're saying it. I really feel like the loser. That's what kind of shifted you.
Yeah, it was I was horrified with myself. It was this disgust. Imagine me, a good-looking guy, looking in the mirror and being disgusted.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about just like a physical mirror. I'm talking about like seeing just your inner world is not mobile. Like the stars and the planets and everything in your cosmos is not orbiting correctly. Everything's moving slow and awkward, and things are not happening. And in the modern, let me just, can you mute your mic for a second? Yeah. In the modern world, when things are not happening for you, you look at your parents, your brothers, your friends, things are not happening for them either. Like maybe they got to where they're trying to go in life and that's about it. But I just remember thinking, I'm like, dude, I am an anime character. Um, all I had is visions of like, thousands of women are supposed to be not chasing me, but chasing this cool guy, this fucking this like this ubermensch, this Superman archetypal male, And I would see in my head like he had so like this jawline, this beard, this cigarette. I didn't even like smoking cigarettes back then, and everything. He had like whiskey on his hands, a Wolverine, but he was funny Wolverine, and women want to fuck him. And this guy lived inside of me as like some phantom. And he wasn't inspired by other, maybe Tyler Durden's and stuff you see on TV, but he was his own unique type of thing. And he didn't live inside of me as like a real force, a real person, but he was just like an artwork, right? And then when I'm taking steps forward to being this person, and you get immensely rewarded. Like a girl is making out with you in the bathroom, and you look in the mirror and you go, "Whoa, I look really good. Like I'm really good looking. I'm really tall, really beautiful olive skin. I got nice, beautiful pink undertones, like just white enough. Not like that ugly pale white. Like it's just this olive looking Mediterranean white. There's a darkness to it, these sharp angular features, everything that didn't even make sense. Nice veins on the arms and the hands, and there's no muscle mass. It's like a skinnier version, is a weaker version, but it's a Chad. It's not a bodybuilder anymore, but and she's making out with me, and I'm like, I get turned on. And I remember talking to my audience about this. I said, I never understand how, people think I'm joking about this on Twitter. I'm not, there's no joke about this. I made a tweet that I said, her moan, her moaning is not why I come, although it's beautiful. I come because of my voice, who I am as I'm nutting. That turns me on. I remember talking about this on a podcast, and I think I got like 9 billion people messaging me. I don't get it. I was like, oh wow, humans are, this is when I started promoting narcissism. I was like, humans don't fuck with themselves. You should be doing everything in your power to fuck with yourself. That's crazy. And uniting those forces, and to me, that's the scariest thing in life. Imagine going your whole life not being turned on by the mirror. It sounds like a narcissistic philosophy, but I'm telling you right now, she can pick up on the fact that I turn myself on more than she does. And a lot of people are like, but that's gay. A man is turning you on more than a woman, because in the mirror, you're looking at yourself and you're seeing a man. And I'm like, yo, if that's gay, I must be the biggest earth. Because, bro, when I look in the mirror, there's so, when I'm adjusted and looking nice with my dress shirt and my nice crocodile shoes, my nice dress pants taped to my dick and shit, and she's fucking grabbing on my dick. There, it's insanity. It's insanity for me to sit down and talk to a man and be like, wait a minute, you don't turn yourself on? That shows me that you're not becoming something, because you can only get turned on to what you're becoming, not who you are right now, but something that's happening, something, a process, a living process. And, a lot of people are like, well, I could see a lot of fault with that. It's like, no, I talk about picking up women. And picking up women is literally getting turned on by yourself, right? It's a magnetizing of your energy. It has nothing to do with actually picking up a woman, right? Like it has nothing to do with a woman. If you like I said in that tweet where I said when your fear runs to zero on a date, she starts getting wet. You know, have you ever just gotten to a point at a date where you're so comfortable and the date becomes into infinity? You could sit there forever, you could just chill, you have nothing else to do. You're just there to enjoy your time and get entertained by her. And you see her getting wet. And she doesn't know why she's getting wet, but it's really because your breath is at zero. You're not breathing in an awkward way. You don't have fidgety eye contact. You barely have eye contact. You have sleepy eyes. You look at her, then you'll look at the waitress, and you're in your own bubble. You're in the middle of yourself. And she starts getting soaked by the fact that your anxiety is going to zero because it's forcing hers to go to zero. You know, it's like I always make the argument that they play catch up. You know, when you're at zero, you know, oh, he's not afraid. Oh, she starts challenging you. You have something in your hair. I'm still beautiful. She laughs and she goes, wow, he doesn't even want to move what he has in his hair. And she's like, oh shit. And then she starts doing more shit tests. And then you go, calm down. You look frantic, Selena. And she goes, why is he saying that so slowly? Well, but are you going to get the bill or where do you have to go? And you start slowing her down and tripping her up, and she cannot pick at you anymore. And she becomes the coward, and she has to prove herself through courage to you now. And the only way she can do that is by grabbing your. This, this is you finding yourself attractive before you find her or her illusions. And people don't realize that the self is intermingled with her and everyone else on earth. The self, the deeper part of the self, is a unity. Think of all humans as one into the God image. You have to be cozy, comfortable with yourself. And, you know, that comes after all the pressure, you know, all the trials and tribulations you go through in life, right? Like I always tell people, you're a young man, you go on a date with a beautiful girl. Stop seeing it as you're trying to fuck her. Start seeing it as a trial of courage. See if you're actually afraid of her. And when it's a contest, when it becomes an initiation trial, you will get good at dating, right? Young men, it's kind of like Clav, you know, Clav really downloads what I'm saying. So anytime a woman is challenging him with eye contact, he actually lasers her down till she submits. That is an autistic version of I will not lose in this battle of courage, right? And you know, it is an extreme measure he's going to, but it's a beautiful thing that he's a young. Imagine at that age, I didn't want to do that. I was like, oh, fuck, I'd rather play video games, right? People who see it as like, you're not beating me, they do really good. They do really, especially when they start generating love and being a good person. You know, they start adding that to the mix, not just because I always say be a bad person first, as in don't let people fuck with you, right? But you know, when you have both sides of the light and the darkness, you're in the middle, you start to become your full self. You start dominating the date, and then many dates, and then girlfriend. And then, you know, you do what I did, you know, I did the girlfriend life, and holy shit, was that a waste of time for not for the average guy, but I'm definitely not the average guy, right? Like I'm definitely built to have a King Solomon free time for at least 8 more years. And obviously, you guys are not built like that. Like most of you guys, I'd say most Chads cannot do it. You know, I've never seen a Chad actually do a good Casanova incarnation. There's always problems. Like, but if you'll know you're doing good if a year's past having fun with it. Very few humans can do that for some reason. They get depressed. They're, oh, I don't want to be around these women. I don't see them like human. And it's like, bro, you got some other issues. If you don't see these people as human, you've got some darkness you're working through, man. And it's like, what do you tell these people? It's like, it's not for you, man. It's really not for you. It's like, not everyone's going to be Future. You know, Future's fucking bitches, right? He's happy with it. Nothing bad happens. right? But most guys who fuck bitches get robbed and horrible shit happens to them, right? So it's not for you. Don't force it. But yeah, man, it's like when we look at the trials and tribulations of this world, everything should feel like a test. You know, everything should feel like I will beat my day, whether it's going to the gym, the business, or the bitch. And really, these three relationships, these are like, 20 to 30. This is like, these are the trials. It's business, it's fitness, right? And it's the woman. These are the three things you want to, I don't say get good at. I say be in the thick of it for 10 years, and then you have no choice but to get good at it, which does sound like hope because, you look at billions of people on earth, they're failing miserably. And let me just tell you this, man, there's nothing cool about being a loser. You know, you don't want to be sneako. You don't want to be these guys who just get used by women and shit like that, right? You don't want to be one-sided. No, no, you don't. You don't want to get lost in bitches to where you're not having strenuous mental activity every single day. There's a daytime part of your day and a nighttime part. I get to turn my brain off and slide inside some woman, but only after I do the work. You know, it's not ever going to be without work. But to me, there's not work. This is play. So that's someone else. We'll wrap it up soon. It's just I gotta at least, if I'm not doing content, I gotta at least do a spaces to remind you people that there's more to the world than your little gay office job. And I'm talking to myself really, because wintertime I love to get in office mode, right? And then springtime I love to fuck bitches. But I'm supposed to be in the middle of that. I'm supposed to be doing both, man. Okay, any repressed Christians in here? Name of the game is repression, right? That's the only thing we ever talk about. If you're not familiar with my Twitter, your life is probably going horrible for you. I think Twitter is the only app that matters, right? And you guys got to remember that I see Twitter as my religion, right? I religiously try and help people through my Twitter because I'm a fun guy on camera. I forget to help people, when I'm being a fun guy, you know? And yeah, if I'm in play mode, I really don't give a fuck about you. You got to find the mode I'm in. Um, On Twitter, in Twitter, I see so much darkness. Like there's so many of my friends, my influencer friends, that I don't want to call them out, but deep down I'm like, bro, you guys are such losers, man. Like my influencer buddies they're just pissing away their lives. It's like, and then they always DM me and try and meet up with me in Colombia. It's like, no, bro, no, your energy is office mode. Stay in your little office. Right? You're not in the same energy. You're not in the same tax bracket, really, my nigga. Let's be real about that. You gotta be live 7 days a week to pay rent. That's just pathetic. It's like get your business going, get financially free out of this fucking matrix and stop doing this. Oh, can I come see you for 4 days so I can fuck bitches and then I have to go back to work? And it's like, don't hit me up if you have a day job. I don't care if it's content creation. If you have to do something during the day, if a human being doesn't have a flexible schedule by the age of 25, you are a loser. How the fuck are you over the age of 25 and you don't have a flexible schedule yet? How the fuck you want me to accommodate for you? No, I'll sleep during the day. I have some nights where I get fucked up. I'm not accommodating to your schedule. Are you retarded? Like I don't even pretend to be a good friend like that. Like that's hilarious. If you're over the age of 25 and you still have to wake up at a certain time, not because you chose that time, you know, I think a lot of people are like, how the fuck for 6 months do you run a marathon a day? Because I have strenuous mental activity exercises I do that can easily bleed into a really healthy lifestyle. And it's winter time. It's fun to do that. But now it's spring. And now it's not about running marathons every day and strengthening the mind. Now it's about doing my homework and strengthening the mind. And then when I'm not doing my homework, I'm fucking bitches. But it's all on my time. I'm not doing things on anyone. I don't have a boss. I don't have what the fuck? You guys are doing things on other people's time? What if those other people die? You know what I mean? Like they're not even a part of your, what are you talking about? some of you guys trying to meet up with me, it's like, dude, you're not Zerka energy. I'm never gonna share my hose with you if you're not Zerka energy. What the fuck? You know? You set your little gay alarm clocks. You want to set your little gay alarm clock and come fuck bitches in Colombia? Hell no, you're not allowed to come here. What the fuck? Hell no, I won't meet you downstairs. What the fuck? Hell no, I won't meet you at the lobby for a beer. What the fuck? No way, dude. No. For years you said I'm crazy. You got a boss, my nigga. You have a boss. You have to talk to your boss. Or even worse, some of you guys on a YouTube schedule. It's like, wait, you don't even have a boss. How the fuck do you have a schedule? That's wild. Like, imagine not waking up when you want to wake up. You're a fucking loser, bro. You are a That is some loser shit, man. Like, if you have a boss, you're a fucking loser. I'm not saying like you didn't get your life together. I'm saying it's the age of technology. How do you have a boss in the age of technology? I didn't have a boss when I was a bouncer. It's like I was doing whatever the fuck I wanted to do. You guys are crazy, man. Like, well, not everyone's about freedom. Then fuck off, bro. If you're not about freedom, fuck off. Fuck are you staying around me if you're not about freedom? What else is there to do in reality than be free? Like the whole point is you're under compulsion and desires and impulses that rape and ruin your life. Everyone is dominated by all of these impulses and desires, and they're not free. They're like, oh, I have to do something. I have to. It's like, bro, you have to? What do you mean you have to? You don't have autonomy of your own soul? Okay, who's next?
Circa, thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry for being so fucking retarded, man. I think, yeah, honestly, it'd be disrespectful for me to keep asking questions. You definitely, yeah, man. I will, thank you.
Well, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to
No,
the
no,
masses.
I know, but what you just said in these literally last 45 minutes resonates so
Yeah, I know, but
deeply.
it sounds like it now. It sounds like you asked to come out here, and I
No,
said no. I was
no,
talking to someone else,
no,
bro.
no, 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 no. You're good. No, no, no. I complete. No, I'm talking about the stuff before. You know, all that taking risks. Don't be. You know, it clicked, man. Thank you so
Yeah,
much, Circa. It's absolutely what I need to hear, man. I
yeah.
can't. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Jack, remember, man, you one day you gotta get extreme and break down the door of your life.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to be today, doesn't have to be tomorrow, but
yeah,
in the back of your head, one day you're gonna stop knocking. You gotta break that fucking door down,
yeah,
and you gotta break that door down like no one exists.
yeah,
The devil don't exist, God don't exist, no one exists but you in that moment. Boom! When you have faith in the self, when you have faith in yourself, immediately you have faith in God. And it's like, oh, yeah, I am walking around with the legs God gave me. Why the fuck wouldn't I trust these feet to break down that door? God, that bitch is so pretty. Look at that bitch on the street, man. These bitches are hot, poor and hot. These women in Colombia are poor and hot. And bro, I wasn't repressed during the winter because every winter I get really about business. Anyone else like that? Like, I know I shouldn't be like that. I should just always be traveling. Well, now I'll be traveling for 8 years, right? Because I don't think I've ever enjoyed life in one spot. You know, I like being a nomad, and I don't like being a nomad like 1 month of the year, like you people. Like, no, I need the seasons to change while I'm in different places, and yeah, it's really crazy that it's like, yeah, I could see myself doing this for 8 years, and then that'll be enough money spent on traveling, right? That would be exactly, like, people ask, well, what do you spend your money on? It's like, this doesn't even cost that much, really, like, bro, compared to, I make 8,000 one-on-one call after this. Like, this will be nothing. But the feeling of all of my resources and money going towards what I love, and for me is my greatest love is growing, my soul growing as I'm traveling. For some reason, it feels like it's just awesome compared to staying in one spot, you know. And I could do a month in Colombia, and that's a long time. But yeah, just this putting all my resources, time, energy, money into what I want to do. There's nothing more beautiful than that, man. Like, there's going to be some women in your life that take away from that. They want to stay in hometown and eat the ice cream, I'm telling you right now, man. If you're a bitch, don't immediately get on a plane. All my bitches get plane. I don't care how many women, Colombian women I fuck. All my American hoes will get a plane ticket to come. I tell them because it's not about me coming to you ever. It'll never be about that. And some of you who don't have that kind of relationship with the women in your life, you have to seriously ask yourself, am I just a stern voice, a fatherly voice to her that tells her no and turns her on? Or do I also have fatherly love towards her? And it's like, bro, you better have both, or they're not coming out to see you, man. Like, when you kiss a woman, you stop kissing her and say, hey, I don't want it like this. Do it with love. She will laugh and she'll start kissing you differently. And she will reward you for it. Even if she thinks it's a joke, she will reward you for it. Do not go your whole life kissing women without love, right? Even if you just met her, cultivate that love, not just through romance, but especially with romance, right? It's like, I never thought I have to teach this because I show it so much on camera, but people are thinking it's just comedy. It's like, no, 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 no. Don't stop her from writing. Stop her and say with love, train like a dog. Okay. Humans love to be in love, even if they just met you. Every human wants to be in more love. Don't just rub her. You come, okay. You've been doing that your whole life and look where it's gotten you. Okay. Start to enjoy your life again. Stop being some of you guys are getting sex and still repressed. It's because there's no love to your sex. Like, what are you guys doing? Right? Or some of you guys message me, oh, I'm fucking hoes and I feel empty inside because there's no love. There's no love. You fuck them with love. What the hell? Well, I'm afraid to do that because then I'll fall in love with one. Who gives a go fall in love with a hoe? That's following that passion is still better than living a life without love. You'll get out of it eventually, right? And if you become a master of this shit, you'll never fall in love. You will be love, right? Feel nothing. It's like, dude, your heart is black. I don't know what to tell you. You're fucked up. You're mentally ill. That's an illness. If you're getting still not happy, that's ill. That's a heterosexual nightmare. I get so many people saying that. It's like, and then a couple of years pass and they always start to learn it. And I'm like, oh shit, it's an age thing. I don't think at 21 I could have done it either. 21, you're just a little too jumpy, too electric. Well, guys, slow it down, man. Get some fettuccine with the cocaine. All right, let's see who else we got. Anyone else? Taking on questions. I feel like I should write a book on how to live life because, bro, peaking. It's such a
Hey,
beautiful day.
one last thing. I'm sorry to be annoying, Zerka.
Yeah, no, you're a cool nigger.
Thanks, guy. I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you feel like you always know what to do? And I don't mean that in a way of like, do you like, for me, I feel like I always know like what I should do. And then there's those, I don't know, you could call it like a demon or whatever it is that pushes you away from it, whether it's like to talk to that pretty girl or to take the risk in some metric. Like, what is that, and why is that something in the soul that just hasn't been like addressed or something? Like, what kind of, I guess, yeah, what is that? What, if that makes sense?
Yeah, where it's like courage is fleeting. You want to do something, but it just keeps slipping from your fingers. I'll do it later, maybe not right now, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I mean, it really comes down to the self image. When you see yourself as a coward, you do coward shit, point blank, no way around that, right? That's why I say when a young man is confident, anyone confident around me, I go talk to her right now at the bar. And my buddies all go, well, why? Why him again? I'm like, go. You're peaking in confidence. Go use it right now. And my buddies always listen because they're like, holy shit, Zerka picks the most confident guy in the group and he milks him. But when you look at amateurs, like I saw Clav and Androgenic, and they got Androgenic to go up to a girl and he failed miserably and she just didn't talk to him. And he's like, are you with your boyfriend? And she didn't answer him. And it was just awkward. And it's like, Never foot soldier your boys. Like, never foot soldier your boys when they're not feeling it. Because let me tell you right now, you go out to a bar with 7 of your buddies, one of you is going to be the funniest one there. It's not always me, by the way. People think, oh, it's Zherka. It's not me. Anyone around me knows. For me, it'll take an hour until I hit my stride. You know, I got to get, and for me, it'll be a while. A lot of people think I'm a quick starter because they've seen some shit online. No, bro, I take my time with that shit. And or if I am quick in the beginning, let's say I'm the most confident in the first 5 minutes, I will use me and I'll go talk to all the bitches. But I will always look at who's glowing in the room, who's been in the room the longest, usually, who's enjoying the party the most. That's the opener. That's who we use. And a lot of people are like, oh, no, you just have to be disciplined and go up whenever you want to go up. No. If you, for example, you can get 1,000 times more results if you look in the mirror and adjust your shirt, your hair, and look good before you go. You know, a lot of guys don't realize that if you go out, go talk to a bitch when you're not adjusted and looking right, something in the back of your head is always pulling you away. Something that's why, you know, a lot of guys who take it serious and they'll go in a suit and tie and a dress shirt, they perform even better, right? Now, this goes a lot of what you've seen because people are like, well, Zherka, I've seen you pull bitches looking raggedy and shit. Yeah, but that's after thousands of bitches. How did Zherka actually start? Zherka started by being the most jacked, best looking guy in the nightclub. Like when I say best looking, I'm by far the best looking in the nightclub. That's how I started. That's where I built all that, right? And then later it turned into hoodies and raggedy clothes and stains and Subway Chipotle sauce on my shirt and me half drunk. And I degenerated, but I still kept the frame, the confidence of how I started. And a lot of people don't realize, like, bro, I started the game at level 10, like taking shit right, taking the self correct, like using everything I have in my arsenal. You know, like the looks maxers, they're like, oh, they're putting things in their shoes to look taller. Bro, I was wearing Air Maxes at 6'5". Would you think I wasn't a looks maxer? I was doing everything in my power to make her look at her fucking shoes when she talks to me. She's afraid of me. I'm not afraid of her. You fucking why Zherka supports the looks maxers, but Zherka doesn't wear makeup. It's like, bro, I don't need to fucking put on makeup. I'm telling you right now, I don't give a fuck what I don't care that Donald Trump puts on makeup before he goes on CNN. He's Donald Trump. You you really think I'm gonna sit down and tell you there's a way of cheating? There's no way of cheating. Put all your fucking chips on everything you're good at. Max out your stats, fucking dominate the bar, you know, and experience will let you loosen up over time. Experience. But don't just, there's like people who Zherka goes into a bar, picks up a bitch with a big fat Santa Claus beard. Yeah, that's after thousands of women of me being a stud. Like the journey started as a stud. Don't mix it up, right? I played everything correct in the beginning. I became Exodia in the beginning, right? So I can build the experience, right? And now people are like, well, I want to do late stage Zerka game. No, you can't do that. What the fuck? No, that's fucking stupid. Get jacked, get beautiful, get smart, get everything maxed out so you can dominate the self-image. So there's no inhibition telling you don't talk to her. Fuck no. Now, when you do that with 7 of your boys, you guys go out downtown, then you start milking which of the homies is the most loose, the one that's the least threatening. Like, for example, people are like, I thought Zerka will pull all the bitches if we go downtown with him. Bro, Zerka's on cocaine. She's going to pick up on that cocaine thing and get scared. Let Zerka have an hour to calm down off the drugs, bro. Like, that, you got to play the game like Tom Brady, bro. It's like you give me a fucking bottle of lean, right? Obviously the guys sipping lean, those guys are going to open with the girls, right? That's why actually in a lot of clips you see, I'll use heel mic to open with the girl. Unless I'm alone, obviously you have to open. But if you're with the boys and stuff like that, milk whoever is always the best energy, because it's really hard to be the best energy if you just landed in the room, right? Especially in America, you're worried about getting stabbed and shit. You're worried about all the wrong shit, and the US gets fucking weird fast, which is weird. You'd think the third worlds are like this. Not really. You know, guys here are pretty chill. You can talk to their bitches. They don't give a fuck, right? In America, they do. But yeah, it's like, dude, if you're out in a team adventure mode, right? find your most beautiful moment and exploit the fuck out of it. So for some guys, it's when they look the best. For some guys, it's yeah, whatever it takes. I don't care if you look better in a dress shirt, do it like that. You look better in a beater, do it like that. Maximize your self-image, then talk to the woman. Don't just, hey, my name's Bob. What the fuck? And a lot of people are like, wait, Zherka, so you didn't go out on dates until you became a machine? I never went out on a date. Never, not once. I said no to all of them. All of them. Even the girls that liked me, I said no. Because in the back of my head, it didn't make sense being out in public if my stats aren't maxed. If I'm not a dragnet, I'm not going to be in public. Fuck that shit. That doesn't even make any sense. Soon as my stats are maxed, I picked up all of them. Every fucking bitch. And people are like, oh shit. Is this how you're supposed to play the game? Yeah, but you watch any movie, the hunter comes back to the tribe with a fucking pig head. The hunter gets the bitches. There's never been a potter that gets the woman by making clay pots and talking to her. You know what I mean? Because even if he does get her, she still fucks the hunter when he comes back home. You know, this is why I love the black pill. The black pill tells you the black pill tells you what the red pill tells you is transform in every way imaginable. And you know, a lot of people think transforming takes a long time. I don't think I've ever seen a human, I don't think I've ever seen a successful transformation that was longer than a year. Like, really, a year is a long time, right? And especially when you look at the extreme measures kind of guys, I've never seen a human take longer than a year to transform. You know, I really think that. Let's say we didn't have social media, video games, all that distractions, I think people would be transforming in 2 months, really. But you know, when you count all the distractions and stuff, it's like a year. Then there's, you know, most men on earth that'll talk to me, they're convinced it takes 7 years to transform. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing with your life that's taking you 7 years? What do you have to transform? Is it the money? Is it the looks? Is it what is it? Everyone knows what they got to do. And a lot of people are like, well, the money thing will take 7 years. To get bitches? That takes a year. What are you talking about? You're thinking of becoming Steve Jobs or some shit, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, in 7 years, that's like your money maxing. But to get pussy, doesn't take 7 years of money building, you fucking idiot. That's retarded as fuck that you think that. You should be able to do that in a year. If it takes you 7 years to land in some pussy because you built up money finally, newsflash, she's still gonna leave your ass. So stop convincing yourself like your mindset should be there's guys making 20,000 a year at their jobs, at their UPS jobs who get pussy. That exists. Some chats, they have other metrics, right? It's like guys who hire me, they're like, what should I focus on? I'm like, well, you should know this stuff, man. Right? Is it looks? Is it this? And for most people, it's not the looks, it's more hygiene, really. You know, when hygiene is peaked, she will fuck a businessman. Trust me, he doesn't have to be that good looking, right? If you are those guys who can peak looks, like on some black pill, 100% recommend it. Because I've always been an artist, you know, I've always seen his appearance as huge, right? But appearance also comes with presence, right? Courage. Are you willing to do that shit? Are you that nigga? Are you willing to risk it all? Are you willing to do psychotic shit to get what you want? And it's like, let me tell you this, man. Aristotle's right. Like, you'll never see genius without a touch of madness, right? So if you have a bit of madness in you, exploit that shit like a flame, dude. Like, burn everything down with it. But yeah, this whole idea that's like, oh, it's taking me longer than if it anything you're trying to do that changes your quality of life, bro. If it takes longer than a year, you're just a loser. You should give up. How the fuck? For me, it took like a summer. It took like one summer to get. You know, I was like, here are my. I didn't even have weaknesses. I had strengths. I said, here are my strengths. I want to exploit them. That's all I focused on, right? And it's wild. There's like in one summer, everything fucking changes. Start, you know, and then degenerating was fun. It was a lot of fun to degenerate. You know, when you are who you want to be, and you know, the early years is fun. But this idea, there's always taking me since. Well, there's some of you guys who are like looking in the mirror. It's been 5 years, and just give up, bro. What do you mean 5 years? the fuck are you doing that's taking so long? Right? There's no, it's impossible unless you're playing Fortnite every day. It's impossible. Whatever you're doing is not taking you 5 fucking years. I'm not talking about starting a business empire. I'm talking about just changing your quality of life, right? Which is what? You looking a little better, making some money and social maxing until you have the right network pointing at the mountain you want to climb for the rest of your life. It's a fucking 1 year of work right there, right? And I'll go to extreme measures. Some of you guys are like, oh, I can't get focused. Should I use Adderall? If Adderall takes you to the next level, so long as it's not forever, if you ever tell me you're going to be on drugs forever, never touch drugs. But if you're that guy who says, I'm going to do 1 year of Adderall, listen, man, whatever it takes, do it. I don't give a fuck if it's Adderall. I don't give a fuck what it is. Whatever it takes, do it. Anything's better than 5 years of repression, waiting for yourself to kill yourself and shit. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing in my life. But if you're those guys who think, okay, now I'm doing 10 years of this one drug that's going to eat my soul away, dude, you don't want to trade time like that on earth. That's fucking retarded. Get in, get out like a robbery. And a lot of people are like, well, how do you do that with drugs? That sounds like a sticky situation. It is, because no human has ever, besides me, I don't think there's ever been a human that did drugs and then stopped doing them. Like, who else besides me do you know that? No, they all destroy their lives. Like anytime you talk to a human that gets into, turning the levers in their brain hardcore, anytime you talk about a human that doesn't want to do the spiritual work, they just want to, ramp up their engine, and they're willing to make the alchemical sacrifice, which is going to come with serious imbalance later. Anytime you look at these types of humans, they always fuck their whole lives up. And it's a long process to, it's not like 1 year of drugs, 1 year off drugs. It's like 1 year of drugs for 5 years of trying to heal off it, right? I think I'm the only human to go in and out, like bang, bang. Like, I remember even telling my twin brother, I said, here I go. And he's like, dude, I'm a therapist. This is a bad idea. Like, drugs is never the answer. And I'm like, watch this shit. Bang, bang. I fucking pull out of it. And my twin brother's like, holy shit, dude, you're going to harm yourself if you stayed there 1 second longer. And I'm like, yeah, that got pretty close. And do I regret living my life like that? Fuck no. I don't care about Wolf of Wall Street life. I'm saying I don't regret it, because guess what? How can you regret something? How can you regret something when you're the one paying for it? How the fuck can I regret something if I'm the one paying the price? I'm the one who went through the suffering and the misery. If I'm going through all that fucking suffering, how the fuck am I regretting it? I'm literally it's like I'm getting a receipt day by day. I'm getting the depression receipts and all that. And, a lot of people don't realize that it's like, maybe if it was a more regular path, it would make sense. But I remember I'm like, how do I say whatever I want, do whatever I want, get paid however much I want, have all the women, plus a loyal girlfriend, plus a strong family life? How do I do all of that as a King Solomon incarnation? Everyone destroys themselves doing that. And I made it work. But damn, did I sacrifice like a monkey, man. Like, when I talk about like a monkey, like a caged monkey getting heroin shot up his arm, I'm talking about nightmare levels of pain and initiation and unnecessary suffering for years and all that. But when I look back, I'm like, look at you, pathetic fucking, you guys are nothing compared to me. You guys are rodents. Every follower I have looks like oh, I don't know what I'm doing. It's been 7 years. 7 years? That sounds way worse than drugs to me. Your drug is being a fucking sober loser. Hell no, man. I need action. I need trauma. I need fire. I need brimstone. I need all that. And when I say I mean like, look at the billions of people on these motorcycles and mopeds in Colombia. Look at what average looks like. They take no risk, and then when I look at an average person's face, it's just like actually the saddest thing I've ever seen. Go to Walmart. You'll see what a fucking no risk lifestyle looks like, right? Go to Walmart and look at those faces. They've never taken risks, right? Oh, they look kind of pleasant. They don't look, that's not the kind of face I want to craft on earth. You know, I imagine someone goes to Walmart and says, "This guy kind of looks like Zherka." You could never say that. My face looks nothing like that. I don't share those thought forms, and I'm disgusted by those thought forms. Right? Just the idea that I'm gonna be average in one incarnation—that's fucking madness to me. Average? Is there anything more? No. I want the highest level of rarity. What is that? Clout, women, money, freedom. You'll never see, because most people will be so one sided that they're always anxious, like Andrew Tate talking about money all the time, like some bald incarnation. I don't give a fuck about that. It's like, no, I want freedom. And it's like, bro, that requires immense sacrifice, immense risk taking. And by risk taking, I mean, what was it, 5 years? 5 years, I was making like $10 an hour. Like, can you imagine 5 years of risking it all, making $10 an hour, and what? I still had the confidence like it's gonna pay off, and it paid off in spades. It paid off in spades, and if I could talk to my younger self, I'd be like, damn, the one thing I would make different, I would have taken on even more risk, man. That's wild. That even in the Twitch days, I started doing something illegal, which is brigading. You're not supposed to brigade on Twitch. It's super illegal. And that's when my channel starts blowing up again. And I was so charming that the girls couldn't report me. They're just trying to fuck me. And I remember thinking like, oh, I'm taking risks and my channel's growing again. Then I took more risks. Then I got banned and said, all right, let's go all the way. And whether financially, clout, women,